Blog Talk Radio.
So the Most High is going to stop the flowing of the people going into that country. Read.
Jeremiah chapter 51, the end of verse 44. Yea, the wall of Babylon shall fall. Verse 45. My people, go ye out of the midst.
Hold up, read that again.
My people, go ye out of the midst.
I think within this chapter, he said flee and get out of her around 3-4 times. Right? Read.
My people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Most High AHAYAH. And let your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land. A rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that in another year shall come a rumor. And
wars and rumors of wars. You're hearing about it, and because it's not happening, you think it's not going to happen. Read.
Verse 46, end of verse 46. And violence in the land, ruler against ruler. Verse 47. Therefore, behold, the days come that I will do judgment upon the graven images of Babylon, and her whole land shall be confounded, and all her slain shall fall in the midst of her. Then the heaven and the earth, and all that is therein, shall sing for Babylon, for the spoiler shall come unto her from the north, saith the Most High AHAYAH. As Babylon hath caused the slain of Israel to fall, so as Babylon shall fall the slain of all the earth. Ye that have escaped the sword, go away, stand not still. Remember the Most High AHAYAH afar off, and let Jerusalem come into your mind.
Listen to this clear. Ye that have escaped the sword, that means you escape the destruction that's coming to Babylon, go away and stand not still. So when you leave, remember the power or the God, AHAYAH, afar off, and let Jerusalem come into your mind. That's looking forward, not looking back. Now let Jerusalem come into your mind. She's finished. Right? Read.
Verse 51. We are confounded because we have heard reproach. Shame has covered our faces, for strangers are coming to the sanctuary of the Lord's house.
Strangers have destroyed us. Strangers have destroyed our sanctuary, our belief. They destroyed our understanding so that we cannot connect to our God. They've given us their gods. Baal, Satan, the dragon, Moloch. These are the gods we've been worshiping ignorantly. Jesus, Zeus. Okay, we ain't know nobody named Jesus. Total madness. And then when we wake up and understand these things, we say, well, hold up. I'm a stranger here. You dragged me here. And the Most High starts reviving us. They be like, okay, we have one who's the extremist. You're a terrorist. Read on.
Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 52. Wherefore, behold, the days come, saith the Most High AHAYAH, that I will do judgment upon her graven images.
He's going to destroy all your images and your idols. And man, if you even look at Washington, D.C., it's idol after idol, monuments of idols, obelisks, which is man's personal member. That's what an obelisk is. What's that, the Washington Monument? Idols every place. 5-pointed stars every place. But what if some did not believe? So what if you don't believe what we're teaching you? Paul asked, so what if some did not believe? Shall your unbelief make the faith of God without effect? You mean the Most High is going to stop his own program because you don't believe them? No, you're dead. That's what you are. Okay, his program was before us, and it will be well after us. And that's for the people that's walking out there. There's wars all the time. There've always been these situations. Every few years this happens. Nothing is going to change. That's a dead man.
the Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
All right. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another broadcast. We're going to pick it up from where we left off last Sabbath. Satan's strategy against Israelites, part 2. Get your pen, pads ready. Get them ready. If you don't understand what's going on in the earth right now, you will by the time this broadcast is done. Let's go. That's right. Bring in that song. Come on.
The East is where we're from. The 12 tribes of Israel.
The East is where we're from. Come on.
721 BC. The Assyrian king, he took us down, we fell.
With a great escape.
With a great escape, we went through the Euphrates. The Lord held the water still.
That's right.
To a land where no mankind dwelt, we went. The 12 tribes of Israel.
That's who we be.
Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim, from Puerto Rico, and God from the arms of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. From Panama, the North American Indians, Simeon, the Dominicans, AHAYAH gathering Israel. The Arabs and Africans told us.
Assalamu alaikum.
Together our wives and children then sold us.
Gathered our wives and children then sold us.
In the belly of these great ships we traveled in fear.
By the rivers of Babylon.
By the rivers of Babylon we found our brothers here.
AHAYAH gather us.
In Colombia,
whoa.
Reuben from Australia. Issachar, the Mexicans. AHAYAH's gathering Israel. The Negroes, Benjamin, the West Indians, Levi, the Haitians.
The Haitians.
AHAYAH's gathering Israel. Reuben from Australia. Issachar, the Mexicans. That's who we be. Judah,
come on.
Benjamin, the West Indians. Levi, the Haitians. Manasseh, the Cubans. Ephraim, from Puerto Rico. And Valley from the arms of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Israel. Zebulun from Panama, Gad, the North American Indians, Simeon, the Dominicans, AHAYAH's gathering Israel.
That's right, AHAYAH's gathering Israel. And I need you all to hit the like button. That's right, we're here on GOCC NYC as guests. We'll be right back with our regular channel. We'll be back. We're just invited as guests here. We're just guests at GOCC NYC. But we'll be cleared to broadcast regularly on the Gathering of Christ Church's main channel, A Gathering 144. Normally by now we would have at least 2,000 people in, but of course notifications and all these other things that has to go on. We're under a shadow ban even in this channel, so don't worry about it. Just hit the like button. Brothers and sisters will follow suit and find us, we hope, before the broadcast is done. So I'm just gonna play one more song. And then after we play one more song, just give you enough time to get more people in, at least 1,000. And then, of course, you got it. We'll begin the broadcast, part 2, picking up from where we left off this last Sabbath, Satan's strategy against Israelites. You don't want to miss this broadcast. Look what I have. See, they can't hide anything from us. I tell you this. I have a Flavius Josephus, and I was able to get this book. Check this out. There's a date on this book somewhere. Where is it? Where's the date at? There's a date here. Pages of stuff. Folks, this book is from 1816. I don't know if you all can see this. This book is from year 1816. 1816. This Josephus. And guess what? We got them. All these revised, updated books. A lot of this I'm going to be dealing in the academy. But folks, this is not a cheap book here. I'm going to tell you that right now. It costs an exorbitant amount, but wait till you see what's in it. Okay. 1816, this Josephus, chronologizing our captivity, actually going into the Romans coming against us. They knew that the slaves were Israelites, and it's all in this book. The update, if you got a revised, if you have a revised Josephus, a lot of information is missing. Guess what? There was no question during the time of slavery that we were the Jews, that we were the Israelites. It was no question. A matter of fact, they were negotiating with Israelite, that's right, princes and kings over in Africa who knew they were Israelites. All of these records and more will I be going into, folks. But I have some history for you today because a lot of people don't understand Satan's strategy against Israelites. Y'all don't understand. What you don't understand more so than anything, and what I run into with people right now, and especially in the midst of the pandemic and all that's going on and what they call a pandemic, I'm noticing that a lot of people are confused. They're making decisions strictly out of the fact, just out of sheer fear, or they just don't know what to do. So they're just going to make decisions to keep them and their family safe with no knowledge of what this time is, with no understanding of it. And guess what? The confusion is on purpose. I'm going to go into some of the history tonight, what I can, but I'm going to pick it up right this coming Saturday into the Hebrew and Bible Academy. Week 1. The creation of the universe. Let me play one more song, and then after that, we're going to jump right in. I have Lawyer waiting in the wings. We're going to play one more song. Please hit the like button. Let's drive this up well over 1,000 likes. And then after that, we'll go straight into it, okay? Let's find a good song. Unpick Fruit. Unpick Fruit. Come on. coming up to my tree. The 12 branches of Israel. Come on.
Saw you coming up to the tree. Pick me. I'm ripe for the take, can't you see?
Don't overlook
me. I've been waiting here every day watching you. Please come to this side before the wind cuts me loose. I saw you coming up to the tree. Pick me. Unpick the fruit, woe is me.
Reach out your hand.
Catch me before I hit the land. I'm better than all.
We're better than all left here.
Still hanging,
just hanging from
this tree.
What are we?
Unpick fruit, woe is me.
Yeah, it just started, Micah. You went right on time. I can feel. Come on.
I can feel it. Feel the weather changing.
I feel the weather changing.
Rain and shaking the leaves. This branch won't hold too long. So don't just stare and walk right by. Please reach out, oh, take me. Roll me. So don't just stare and walk right by. Please reach out and pick me.
When they touched Israel, they touched the apple of the Most High's eyes. I hope it won't be too long.
I hope it won't take long before you begin to turn.
Turn our way.
Turn my way.
I'm strong and we'll hold on.
I gotta hold on, but I don't know when.
Win the day.
When's the day?
I'll fall away.
I'll fall away.
Most High, he pick Israel.
Don't go.
People can turn their back, they can do what they want to do, but guess what? The Most High is always there for us, right? We haven't been forsaken.
I can feel it. Feel the weather changing. I see the rain and shaking leaves. So you can come up to my tree. Pick me. Pick me. I'm right for the take. Can't you see? So don't just stare and walk right by. Please reach out. Pick me. Hold me. So don't just stare and walk right by. Please reach out and pick me.
That's right. That's right. Let's jump right in. Satan's strategy against Israelites. First and foremost, I don't believe our people or the people in this earth realize that we were born into a war. That nothing is by chance. That where we live, where we work, what church we go to, everything was strategically placed in front of us as traps. A lot of people don't understand this. Most people are confused because they'll say, well, who can be so diabolical? Who could be so wicked and prey on the innocent and destroy the elderly and kill children and destroy the womb of our women so that they cannot bear children? who would strategize the destruction of an entire race of people? See, a lot of us can't fathom that level of wickedness. But guess what? Satan can. There's a strategy. And truth is the only way to win. First and foremost, Elder Lawyer, you with me?
Yes, sir. Shalom.
Shalom, Elder Lawyer. Let's go straight in real quick. Let's go straight in. Let's go to Hosea 4 and 6. And another thing, I'm going to set this up. Another thing we're dealing with here is that the fact that most people out there, some people out there will claim, well, I just don't believe what you're saying. I don't believe in the Bible. It doesn't mean you're going to absolve yourself or cover yourself, right? Or be able to run from what the Bible says going to happen prophetically. It's best to understand it, trust in it, for the sake of preparing for you and your family. Only the ignorant discounts things or dismisses things. Esau, the white man, other nations never discounted the Bible because they studied the Bible to do what? To study us. Understanding that the Bible is a narrative, a prophetic narrative of what? The children of Israel, Israelites, the fall and rise of a nation. So you might dismiss the book, but the other races of people who has control over our families and control of the corporate Borg under Satan right now, they don't ignore it. Okay, so it behooves everyone everywhere to get on board. Now, you're going to have some who will try to dismiss the Bible's merits, the Bible prophecies. But I'm going to tell you, all right, without the Bible, who can actually quantify and break down what's going on right now without the Bible? Anyone? So let me pull this up real quick because we're going to give some insight to what's really going on in the earth with part 2, Satan's strategy against Israelites. For those who missed part 1 last Sabbath, don't worry about it. It's right here on this channel, GOCC NYC. You can look at it, you know, in your spare time to pick up from where we're about to start. Okay. Hold on one second, Elder Lawyer. Get Hosea 4 and 6 for me.
Yes, sir. Hosea chapter 4, verse number 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
So why are God's people destroyed? Read it again.
My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
What knowledge do we lack as a people? We have knowledge based on, you know, our professions. In areas we're educated. So we don't lack the knowledge on how to operate in Babylon. But we lack the knowledge of what Babylon is. Okay? You don't lack the knowledge to be able to operate. Go to work, make money, don't make waves, do not commit crime, take care of your family. So the actual understanding of how to live on a daily basis is not what most people lack, even believers. But we lack what type of knowledge? The knowledge God intended us to understand. Okay. We lack the knowledge that our Creator intended for us to understand. You have knowledge. There's many educated people. But yet the Bible states the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. One of the most ridiculous notions is for our society or people in our society think that they could take the Greek model of education and apply it to what? Understanding the Bible theologically. That was one of the most ridiculous notions. Okay, and that's a mistake we have made in this earth, and trusting those who have went to the enemy to teach us about the Bible through the Bible theologian school. Okay, the disciples wouldn't have went to theologian schools. Okay, all the churches that were set up were not under Greek educational vocational institutions. So we don't even lack that knowledge. We have a lot of smart people who are darkened when it comes to the understanding of the Bible. Our hopes tonight with this broadcast is to clear it up for our people. Discerning, understanding the time we're living in right now. Our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Read.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
So because we have rejected knowledge, the knowledge of God, the Bible, the Most High in turn said, well, okay, if you don't want to hear my instructions, I'm going to let you out there by yourself. Okay. Right now, what's going on in the earth concerning our people and the decisions we're making, it's clear. We are a rejected people. And this is why I started out in the scriptures. Started out with the song, Pick Me. Pick me. We're the apple of the Most High's eye, looking for love in all the wrong places. We are a rejected people because why? We refuse to choose the book that quantifies what's going on concerning us prophetically. The Bible says, my people, the Israelites, the Bible, that's right, Israelites are God's people, are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. What knowledge? We are educated, but the Bible says the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. A lot of us believe that our degrees, our accomplishments here mean something with him. You can flatter the guy next door, someone in your family, but it's nothing to the Almighty in understanding how to prepare in one of the most prophetic times since the earth existed. Our education means nothing in the grand scheme of things. The wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. And that's what it means by, from another understanding, breaking it down, of being born again. You can't bring your degrees and your education and how long you studied under this world and think that applies when it comes to understanding the direction according to the Almighty. We must humble ourselves and guess what? Empty ourselves out and understand that we cannot flatter God and the angels in the heavens like we can a family member or someone next door. He's not having it. And this is why you go to doctors, you go to lawyers, you go to people who have accomplished something in this society, and they are just as confused as who? As the laymen, the poor people, the people with no education at all. Everyone is confused concerning what's going on right now because we lack the knowledge of God. By lacking that knowledge, what? Let's go to Isaiah, Elder Lawyer, 5 and 13.
Isaiah chapter 5, verse number 13. Therefore my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge.
And this is why we went into captivity. No knowledge, no direction concerning our true purpose And keep in mind, our true purpose according to prophecy, according to what? Our God's purpose for us. By us losing that knowledge, following the Gentile nations, excuse me, it says, my people have gone into captivity because they have no knowledge. Read it again.
Isaiah 5, verse number 13. Therefore my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge.
Because they have, and guess what? You get knowledge today. You will receive knowledge today. Satan's strategy against Israelites. Some people might ask out there, why is it that so many people you run into, family members, people at the work, people who you thought had it together, why are so many people confused concerning what's going on right now? Should I follow the advice of the media? Should I get this medical procedure? Should I do this? I'm not sure whether or not I should do this or not. Why is it so many people are confused right now? First and foremost, they're seeking direction from the wrong place. We should be seeking direction as believers in God from the Word of God. And if anything, what I've seen within the last year with this so-called corporate thing we see that's going on out here, there's less people in this earth who really believe in God in the Bible than were claiming that they believed in God in the Bible. If we've learned anything this year, we've found out how many people trust more so in this world than in God. People are totally confused. Some people think if they can just ignore it altogether, that means that the Bible prophecies won't have any effect on them. Or they'll claim, well, I don't believe. So what if some of you people out there don't believe that we're the Israelites? So what if some of you don't believe that what's going on is a precursor? It's really, believe it or not, we're on the second step, leading towards the last step, the third step, towards the mark of the beast. That's how close we are. Suppose none of you believe prophetically that this so-called thing they're doing in the earth today is one step away from the mark of the beast. Right? Listen, I said it last year when people asked, well, is this the mark of the beast? Was this the mark of the beast? And I said, listen, this, and maybe this is why they wanted to take down some of the videos. I said, listen, no, this is what they're using to implement. They're putting the foundation in place to implement the mark of the beast. And those who fall for whatever they got going out there will what? Chemically and otherwise they'll be moved towards making that choice. If you're confused with this, you're going to do that. The mark of the beast. So whether you believe it or not, you're still subjected to the Bible prophecies. Whether you believe it or not, you're just going to fall on the wrong side of them. Elder Lawyer, Romans 3:3.
Yes, sir. Romans chapter 3, verse number 3.
Come on.
For what if some did not believe?
Read that again.
For what if some did not believe?
Because some people out there think that if they don't believe, the prophecies of the Bible won't have any effect on them. Well, I'm a Buddhist. I'm an atheist. The white man wrote the Bible. The Bible is those are just man's words. You know what? People actually make those statements in fear. And the fear factor is, what if the Bible is true? So they'll do that to dismiss it so that they don't have to be accountable to it. But when it comes down to it, whether you're dealing with Egyptologists, whether you're dealing with Islam, New Age movements, Hindu, Buddhist, it doesn't matter what. There's no book they can actually bring out right now that can tell you what's going on real time. There's only one book that said that we would be living in a world such as this. Medical martial law, RFID chips, mark of the beast. It's only one place you can go, and they know it, the Bible. But if they dismiss it and say, well, it's tampered with, it's the white man, this was just white men's idea, then they feel that they're not accountable to it. See? So if one, that's why Paul even asks in Romans, so what if you don't believe? Read.
Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect?
Because you don't believe, does that mean the prophecies of the Bible will not happen because of your unbelief? See? God forbid. Most people would rather stay confused to what all this is than going into the Bible, preparing, understanding that God said that. But because by doing so, they're now accountable to change their life. A lot of the, even the starch atheists out there are scratching their head right now. They're out there saying, well, okay, all right. So they done switched it to there is no God to, well, I believe that there's a higher being. Well, that higher being has a moral standard for people. And it's not subjective, which means, well, as long as I'm a good person. There's no way to determine what's good or bad without a law. So even the starch atheists out there are examining this and saying, yeah, I don't really get down with this Bible thing like this. But I have to admit, what's going on right now was told to those Israelites thousands of years ago. And when I open a King James Version Bible, it's stating exactly the time we're living in. Even the starch atheists have to admit that there's something to this book. But the majority of people, it's not that they don't believe the Bible. They know that one of their acts or one of their sins, the Bible speaks against. It's not that they don't want to believe in it, but if they go into it, their conscience now is doing what? Either accusing them or excusing them. You can't do it without will and read the Bible too. The Bible will actually do what? Shine light on your darkness, which would begin a change. So that's why most people are confused right now. It's not that they don't believe the Bible, but they'd rather stay away from it because it's more than just planning and navigating through this medical martial law. It's self-examination for change. So what if some did not believe? Shall your unbelief make the faith of God without effect? Will God stop his prophecies because of you? No, you'll just get rolled over. Read.
God forbid. Yea, let God be true.
Let the Most High be true. Read.
But every man a liar.
And this is why so many people are confused in the earth today. Because you're listening to these people, these talking heads, who are lying to you. Well, I don't know. They're saying one thing today and another thing tomorrow. Oh, my job is saying this. My family's saying this. Well, she got it. Well, he got it. You're trusting in man. You're looking for man to build that confidence to make a decision. When the Most High says, let him be true and every man a liar. See, line in the sand. I don't have to believe anything man is telling me. Especially the same people who have never did anything that would lean towards me trusting them. They have never done anything that was good for our people. Why should I believe what's going on now is what we should follow and what God want me to prophetically? So if I lean more towards the Bible, I'm going to say, I'm going to let God be true to what this is. I'm going to find out what God say about this. And I'm going to start off by understanding every man is a liar. And guess what? And if you want to, you can include me in it. You can include me in every man is a liar. You throw me there too. But open up the book and read it and see what God is saying. You don't have to believe me. I'm going to show you what God says. See? This is how you try the spirits to see if it's of God. So you're not deceived or confused to what time we're in. And guess what? We're not in a position right now where your decisions, keep in mind, folks, we're right now where we are prophetically, your decisions can mean life or death, literally. You're not in a position to get this wrong. Make a decision today based on the hysteria that will affect your health and spirit long term, well beyond this so-called campaign they have out here right now. You can make that one decision without trusting God first, and it can literally mean your life. So why are so many confused? People confused right now. Well, I don't know. They saying this. Well, I don't know. It's like people are afraid to actually talk about it. People are afraid to talk about, or just be honest to say, you know what? There's something not right about all this. People are even afraid to say that. In fear of losing family, in fear of losing their jobs, in fear of not being the dark sheep or the black sheep of the conversation. A lot of us are afraid to say, you know what? Something just isn't right with all this. You're wrong for even thinking all of this. Thinking that, hold up, let me sit back and see how this thing pan out first. Why are people confused? Because what? God put you to the test. He says, listen, let all people be a liar. Let me be true and every man a liar. Trust on me. I'm going to show you out of the word of God what's going on so you can make a conscious decision for your future. Because a lot of these decisions, you're not going to be able to reel back. You will not be able, you can make it a decision and get something chemically happening with you, spiritually happening to you, and you're going to realize that decision, all the hysteria and smoke that they were drumming up wasn't worth the choice. Let's go in now. We have about 2,000 people in, but come on, folks. It doesn't cost you anything to hit the like button. A lot of people are waiting on the other station and don't even know that we're here. Help us out. Hit the like or the dislike button. I don't care. So we can drive the traffic here until we're back on a gathering 144. In the meantime, let me make an announcement real quick and we're going to jump right in. Brothers and sisters, we have less. Hey, matter of fact, this coming Sunday, April 18th, begins our first installment, our first week of the Hebrew and Bible Academy. Okay? Now keep in mind, it's dirt cheap. It's only 2 monthly payments of $75. Okay? You pay for the 2 months, the third month, you get 3 months. You only got to pay $75 for 2 months, and you're in for the full 3 months. 12 weeks of serious understanding. From a what? From a scholarly perspective. You sit down there with your Bible and the sources we give to you. We send it to your email. You open it up and you will learn the Bible like you've never understood it before. You don't have to be a theologian. You don't have to be a scholar. You don't have to be a preacher or pastor to understand your history book. That's what the Bible is. We'll teach it to you with all of the resources we have here. But it's a class setting, and the money goes towards us finishing the work and getting to other people, expanding this knowledge. Okay, so it's a benefit for others who haven't received this yet. And we guarantee you, you can learn more in one academy, 1 week. Just one session. I mean, try it. Then you've learned all your life in the Christian church or a Muslim or any other religion you've ever been a part of. You'll see the Bible in its true light. This coming Sunday, I would like to see you all there. We will have brand new in-depth lessons that have never been taught before, and we make sure that no academy is the same, so I bring in new lessons every 3 months. Okay? We're going into week 1, the creation of the universe. The new lessons we're going to be going into are portals, breaking down portals. Portals, the gates between heaven and earth. How do angels travel? How do you recognize when angels are coming into our realm? Keep in mind, there's no such thing as meteorites. That's a lie. There is no rocks or space junk or rocks coming into our atmosphere. It's the news lying to you. What's coming into our atmosphere when we see things that are coming into our atmosphere, into the earth? According to the Bible, and where do they come from? How do they travel? We're speaking of celestial beings. They're not aliens, they're angels. I'll be going into that. Portals, the gates between heaven and earth. Marriage and family, can it survive? Okay, can it survive? Why has Satan strategically set up a system to divide man and woman? And who's the real enemy? And why have it ended up in this earth today where women are sided against men and man against woman? We're going to go into that. The spirit of the Baphomet, the transsexual Satan, being an enemy against family. I'm going to be going into that. We're going to also break down the 70 weeks of Daniel. We're going to break that down. The book of Revelation, how it all ends. I'm going to be touching on that a little bit today. But we're going to end it in week 12 in our Hebrew and Bible Academy. And we're going into the war of the gods. The fallen angels have been covered as aliens. I'm going to be going into all of that. Okay. And our rulership in Egypt before we became a nation. Before we became the nation of Israel, we lived in Egypt. We were a Shemitic family living in an Hamitic land. And we're going to have parts of Egypt, which is our homeland, again. I'm going to be going into still geographical locations. And one other thing I would like to do is I'm going to go into Ham, Shem, and Japheth at the Tower of Babel to show people all the races on the earth. Okay? All the races on the earth. Who is the white man? Who is the East Indian? What does an African really look like? Why have they lied and claimed we were Africans or Hamitic when they know that we are from the Middle East? All of these things and more will be broken down in the Hebrew and Bible Academy. 3 months of knowledge unsurfaced. The truth about the book of Enoch, the secrets of the times, breaking down the fact that we're not in 2021. That's a bold-faced lie. We're not even in the year 1800. Okay? There's calendars all around the earth with different times. Why do they have us in 2021? All this is broken down within that 12 weeks, 3 months. So I wish that you would all come there. Go to historytimes.org. I'm going to type it in so you can have it here real quick. historytimes.org. Okay. We have Shabbat going in as we speak because he's been off for a couple of weeks. So we're going to have really filling almost 2 weeks worth of information as far as real-time news. You need to understand what's going on outside of this corporate campaign, this beast campaign that they're inundating us with. Okay. So we have Shabbat, who's going to go into the news. Elder Lawyer is going to go into week 1, breaking down the Hebrew alphabet and show you its origin. Hebrew is the original language of the earth. So we're going to be going into that. It's simple. You don't have, if you work Sunday or you're busy on Sunday, enjoy your Sunday. Okay, you don't have to be there. But keep in mind, if you pay for the academy, even if you're not there Sunday, you'll still get the links to be able to follow us and get the full lesson. Because some people work on Sundays. That's understood. And that's why we've made it convenient so that even if you're doing something else on Sunday, you can hit your links and still get your full day of lessons. Okay. So some people may say, well, I got to do things on Sunday. It's the only day I have free. That's fine too. You can get the link, chop it up within the week and see separate parts, but still get the information before week 2 comes into play. Okay. So you don't have to be there on Sunday. Okay. Someone says, I can speak Hebrew now because of the academy. All praises be to the Most High. So I wanted to put that out there. Get into the Hebrew and Bible Academy, historytimes.org. It'll be the best $150 you've ever spent. 3 months of information. And keep in mind, we have never went up 1 cent. All the years we've been doing the academy, we kept it the same. $150 for 3 months. So be a part of that. Now, let's jump right in, Elder Lawyer. Let's jump right in. I said it. I said it last year. What did I say? I said, listen, folks. Right now, what they're doing isn't the mark of the beast. It's a segue into putting in the foundation for that. Those who get the chemical Satan serum will be more so moved towards a large demographic of the population who will eventually get the mark of the beast. If you make this decision now, what's going on chemically in your brain and all that for making this decision, they'll have you for the mark of the beast. It's a segue into the mark of the beast. So I made it clear, right? So what are their true plans? What are their true plans prophetically, right? So let's clear up some of the confusion. What are their true plans and who is their plan against generally, typically? Elder Lawyer, let's pick up from where we left off at where Christ said about Vespasian and Titus. Let's go there. And I'm going to pull up Vespasian here. Vespasian is a Roman general. I'll give you a little history right now. Vespasian was a Roman general. Okay. Years subsequent before Vespasian, there was another ruler. His administration was before Vespasian, and his name was Nero. Nero burned a few places in the market and blamed it on black Israelites who were Christians. And because of this, the Senate of Rome voted unanimously to begin to police Jerusalem. So we started to see foreign troops, military, police, all amongst our society in the first century due to a lie that was propagated by the Roman emperor. Why am I going here? Because there's nothing new under the sun. That same Roman Empire, which is the fourth beast, at the very end of time, according to the Bible, would have a mark. It would use technology to mark all those who belongs to Satan. See? So Christ talked about this. Christ warned the churches about this. that at the very end, there will be technology that would lead to them chemically inducing us before bringing us into the mark of the beast system. Okay. And what's happening, what would happen is that's why they wanted to do health care as well as mental health and started propagating that and pumping that up through the media so that they can get into our minds and do what? Eventually chemically induce us so that we will make decisions, not being cognizant or sober minded. See, they wanted to cloud our minds, get us on psychotropics, get us disoriented through chemicals so that when they bring forth the last foot, which is the mark of the beast, the majority of the people will be what? So sick they'll need to comply. See, I'm going to go into it. This is history we're going into. Listen, of course, there's a lot of history in the academy, but hey, we might as well get the ball rolling right now. Right? Elder Lawyer, let's read. Christ. And this is for all you Christians out there. There's no Christian or person who believes in God or the Bible should be confused concerning their decisions right now. Chemically, medicine, or otherwise. You're supposed to be looking at everything first through God's lens. Let all man be true. Remember Romans 3:3. Let God be true and every man a liar. So the talking heads will lie to you. Okay? They'll make you, they will scare you into what? One of the worst decisions you could have made in our lifetime. And keep in mind, the decisions people are making right now wouldn't be possible if we weren't under what? An emergency mandate. None of this would be possible unless there was an executive order under an emergency. That means there's no way none of this stuff could have been possible where these choices have to be made in a certain amount of time if it wasn't for them stirring things up and signing an order that would have it where the corporate world, the pharmaceutical world, or whatever the case is, wouldn't have to go through certain, obstacles when it comes to releasing certain things on the public. Let me put it that way. All of this is prophesied out of the Bible. So you have to understand their end game. Nero burned certain merchant stores on purpose to incinerate the people because the people is like, I can't go to market. I can't shop like I normally shop because of those black Israelites, those Jews, those Christians. And really, it was the military that Nero paid to dress up and look like us, to burn different merchant stores and all that. And the stores were closed down and the markets were closed down because of the black Jews, the Israelites. See, back then, there was no such thing as white Christians and pagan Christians. They were the vast minority. The Christians predominantly during the time before we fell in 70 AD were all black people. See? So what they did was they burned the merchants, knowing that it would do what? Incinerate the people not being able to shop and go to market and do the things they would normally do with their families. You understand? So now all of Rome have been inflamed against us. And then what happened? After Nero's administration ended, Vespasian came on the scene. And Vespasian and his son Titus, now, after having military around us, came with a new campaign. We need to build a trench or a wall to keep these people in the cities. Now, today they're using an invisible wall by claiming that we are disproportionately subjected to a disease. The same thing they're doing now, they did then. They begin to build a trench around us and to make everyone believe that we're the enemy, we're the disease, we're the problem. See? Come on, let's read it. Let's read it,
yes,
Lloyd.
Sir. This is St. Luke chapter 21, verse number 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto.
Come on.
For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. Jumping to verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword.
They shall do what?
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword.
They shall fall by the edge of the sword. This is Christ telling Christians. That's why I understand how Christians would even go for what's going on out here right now. What Christ do you believe in? Where you would be more subjected to Satan's serum and Satan's campaign and the talking heads and believe them more than the God you claim to serve. Come on.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of
they'll be trodden down by the Gentiles. Gentiles are non-Israelites. Like example, white people are Gentiles. It doesn't matter what their religion is. Okay? Chinese people, they're Gentiles. Ethiopians, not the ones where the blacks dispersed amongst them, are Cushites. They're Gentiles. Like Haile Selassie, he wasn't an Israelite. He's a Gentile. Okay? You have to understand what a Gentile looked like. An East Indian, not those who were dispersed in East India, because they have a caste system, knowing that blacks went in to what? India. Even Timothy, one of the disciples, was buried where? You got it. In India. But they have a caste system because they have enslaved and did things against us in India too. Those that are here in the Dunkin' Donuts with the dots on their heads and all that, we're going to be going into the religion, the Babylonian religion of East India. And guess what? They brought them over here to work and to gain high positions as doctors and others because they're already used to a caste system in their homes where they're raised to believe the darker you are, the worse you are as the person. And they believe that within their society as children, that the darker you are mean that you were meant to serve under their ideology. And this is why they're bringing a lot of the East Indians who are Gentiles into America right now and giving them positions to tell us what we need to do. Okay. They're Gentiles. We're going to be going into that, but come on.
Verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So the people in the Middle East right now that's on our homeland, they are Gentiles. So when it says, Christ says they'll be there until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. It so happens that their time is almost up. This is why they're ramping up campaigns to get rid of God's people. Now, those that would trust in this system, trust in Babylon and believe them, you were born to be destroyed. If you don't trust in God, don't forget. And why am I saying this? Some people might think that's insensitive. God, even Christ said, there's only two masters. Either you love one and hate the other. If you believe what they're saying out there, Satan is your master, and you were born to be destroyed. If you would trust this system over God, you were born to not inherit the kingdom of heaven. You were born to be an example. What example? The example of an unbeliever. You were born to be that example. If you hear what those people are saying out there, this is a religious campaign. You can't see that? They got you confused on purpose. You can't see that? And all the time, our people are dropping like flies, and you think this isn't orchestrated? So when people say, well, I'm confused and I don't know, I'm going to just do this to be safe, or I'm going to do this because, I don't know what to do. Guess what? You're an unbeliever. And whatever comes from your decisions, it was on you. So the Bible says Christ said we would fall by the edge of the sword and be led away, what? Into captivity amongst all nations. Amongst all races of people, every race of people would have an opportunity to do what? To enslave the children of Israel until the awakening happens, until we begin to come back to the Almighty, and we're living in the awakening. That's what's going on right now. Some people are asking, well, if this is the mark of the beast, is that the mark of the beast? Y'all not sure what's going on. And I told you all, it's more so about the campaign through sorcery to push fear. And fear will lead you to decisions. And this is why, and I said it over and over again, why at the very end, they would have the majority of people in the earth under a hive mind. Which goes back to the Tower of Babel. A hive mind is what? A system controlled through the emotions of women. Is it wrong that a woman have her emotions? Absolutely not. But you can't have a population who would thrive through what? Making decisions strictly off of how they feel or emotions. The system can easily move you into what? A trap. Keep in mind what they've studied when it comes to the woman's nature. Women are more agreeable in most circumstances. They try not to do what? Make waves in most circumstances. They're more agreeable. They don't want conflict. They'd rather go along than deal with conflict or try to talk or feel their way around confrontation, usually. So they wanted a hive mind, Queen Bee at the top, Semiramis, to teach the children to be more emotional, to do what? To make decisions outside of rational, sound logic. This is where we are as a people in the earth today. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. We're not using practical logic to make decisions. And guess what? This cloud of confusion was stirred up at this particular time because God is speaking to his people. The hive mind. To build the Tower of Babel. If I can keep people confused, I can progress them into our agendas. The hive mind. Let me show you real quick. Hold on, Elder Lawyer. Here's a book right here I have from 1816. The original Josephus. 1816. And in this book that's not revised, it breaks down the ideology that people are living under today. They're under a hive mind, where they're all under one mind, but not God. So they can be easily influenced from what? From the tower. From the tower, they were influenced to build against God. See, this is why Satan, under Nimrod and Semiramis, had to pick a place in Shinar, make it all shiny, to lure all of the people who are innocent and pure, the children of Noah, into an area in which they can be influenced all at once from the tower. The tower. Now your towers do what? Sends out frequencies and speak to one another. Speak to people so that they can all be on one agenda. Now, when you go into this, let me read this real quick. Let me get the Tower of Babel here. I'm going to read a little bit what's on your screen. Get that for me again. Somehow when you grab it, it falls right in place. Right? Let me know when you have it. Okay. Tower of Babel. Now, as you can see, let me blow it up a little bit here. As you can see, brothers and sisters, that looks like a beehive. When you hear of Queen Bee and Queen Bee, that's Semiramis, the virgin mother of Babylon, the demon that's being worshipped, the demoness that's being worshipped on Easter. Now, when you hear about the beehive and the queen bee, it's an ideology that does what? It brings men and women under Satan's agenda. Through what? You got it. Through the worship of her fertility. What we call sex. Okay? It's part of the magic that would progress Satan's system to be aligned into following him through her fertility. The queen bee, they work for her agenda. Satan directs her and she directs the beehive. This is why we have a campaign today where you rarely see any black men at all. For any campaign they're moving, they're using the queen bee. And this is how they move society to go against God in the beginning. They would make it where the woman would be the matriarchy or power over a civilization. And there's only one race of people in the earth who has it so. Every other race of people don't have a matriarchy over the families. That was on purpose, folks, to destroy the children of Judah. Let me read this real quick at the Tower of Babel. Let me read this. Now, I'm going to go into it because this is really a historical study. More in the academy, but I'm going to just give y'all some pieces of this book. 1816. I was able to find this book. It's so old. It reads here. Let me read it. Now the sons of Noah were three, Shem, Japheth, and Ham, born 100 years before the deluge. That means before the flood. These first of all descended from the mountains into the plains and fixed their habitation there and persuaded others who were greatly afraid of the lower grounds on account of the flood. And so were very loth to come down from the higher places to venture to follow their examples. Now, the plain in which they first dwelt was called Shinar. That's modern day Iraq, folks. God also commanded them to send colonies abroad for the thorough peopling of the earth and enjoy its fruits after a plentiful manner. But they were so ill instructed that they did not obey God. for which reason they fell into calamities and were made sensible by experience of what sin they had been guilty. Or when they flourished with a numerous youth, God admonished them again to send out colonies, not to be altogether condensed into cities to be controlled. But they, imagining the prosperity they enjoyed was not derived from their favor of God, but supposing that their own power was the proper cause of the plentiful condition they were in, people started to believe that it was because of their hard work and their fortitude as to why they were blessed. They stopped giving credit to the God who saved them through the flood. Ungrateful. It says here, and it says, God admonished them again to send out colonies, but they, imagining the prosperity they enjoyed was not derived from the favor of God, but supposing that their own power was the proper cause of the plentiful condition they were in, did not obey him. Nay, listen, they added to this their disobedience to the divine will, the suspicion that they were therefore ordered to send out separate colonies, that being divided asunder they might the more easily be oppressed. Now it was Nimrod. Nimrod is the virgin child of Semiramis. The virgin birth have nothing to do with Christ and Mary. Here is its origin. Now it was Nimrod who excited them to such an affront and contempt of God. See, he started to teach contempt against God, right? Like your universities does today. He was the grandson of Ham, the son of Noah, a bold man and of great strength of hand. He persuaded them not to subscribe to God. Don't believe God's word. Sounds familiar? And if it was through his means, they were happy. It was through the government he established as to why the people would be happy, not God. But to believe that it was their own courage which procured their happiness. He also gradually changed the government into tyranny. So he started out rewarding the people, giving them freedoms, but that same freedom turned to tyranny. Sounds familiar? Why am I going into this after going into Christ and the Roman Empire? Well, Rome ended up picking up the same religion and government of ancient Babylon to enslave us. They'll give you freedoms only to take it away when you decide to exercise your freedoms above their power. So are you really free? That means they'll let you exercise your freedoms as long as you do what? Reject your God and subscribe to their power. And when they see you getting too loose in your freedoms, they'll begin to tighten the belt. You can't go out like normal. You can't go out and shop as normal. You can't go out amongst your family like you used to. You can't travel freely anymore. You cannot protect yourselves. See? You have freedom to serve him, Satan. Let me show you here. He also gradually changed the government into tyranny, seeing no other way of turning men from the fear of God, but to bring them into a constant dependence upon his power. So how do you do that? Well, the way they do it in this world is to make people weak. You divide people, make them weak and sick. Therefore, you will be more concerned with your health. You will be more concerned with surviving than exercising your freedom beyond their power. He also said he would be revenged of God if he should not have in mind to drown the world again. So he would actually build a tower to fight against God himself. That means the governments like the Babylonian governments, hate the God of Israel, hate the God of the Bible, and is seeking to build technology to fight against it. If he should have a mind to drown the world again, for that he would build a tower too high for the waters to be able to reach, and that he would avenge himself on God for destroying their forefathers. So Nimrod had the bloodline of Nephilim, the same powers, the same beings that were destroyed in the flood. I'm going into that in Tracing the Serpent Seed, week 3 in the academy. Now the multitude were ready to follow the determination of Nimrod. So December 25th, when you're celebrating Christmas, you're celebrating Nimrod, the birth of Nimrod. Easter, that you celebrated, was the Virgin Mother being what? Impregnated by a god. Not our God, Satan. An immaculate conception in ancient Babylon. To celebrate the goddess Estereth, who came down in an egg on the river Euphrates. Only 9 months later, which is December, from the spring, to bring forth a child without man, because the child was born of Satan. Easter and Christmas is celebrating what? You got it. The consummation of evil in the earth that would build a government against God and his people. Now the multitude were very ready to follow the determinations of Nimrod and to esteem it a piece of cowardness to submit to God. They would try to do what? Shame people who were believers. You're a coward. You're going to believe that stuff. You're going to believe the Bible. You're going to believe the scrolls. There's higher knowledge. Yeah, Satan is smart. Satan is wiser than Daniel. And it's through his wisdom, he made people believe that it's okay to not trust in God. See? So through all their wisdom and technology, they started to believe it was through their hard work and technology that they were able to build cities, empires, and began to forget the God who saved our forefathers in the flood. Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Sounds familiar, right? And it says here, listen to this clearly. Now the multitude were very ready to follow the determinations of Nimrod and to esteem it a piece of cowardice to submit to God. And they built a tower. Because why? They had a hive mind. One mind against God, like the earth we see today. Neither sparing any pains nor being in any degree negligent about the work. And by reason of the multitude of hands employed it grew very high sooner than anyone could expect. But the thickness of it was so great, and it was so strongly built, that its great height seemed upon the view to be less than it really was. It was built of mortar brick, cemented together with mortar, made of bitumen, that it might not be liable to admit water. When God saw that they acted so madly, he did not resolve to destroy them utterly, since they were not grown wiser by the destruction of the former sinners. But he caused a tumult among them by producing in them diverse languages, and causing that through the multitude of those languages that they should not be able to understand one another. The place wherein they built the tower is now called Babylon, because of the confusion of the language which they readily understood before the Hebrews meant by the word Babel, confusion. Confusion. So, it's no wonder that the majority of the earth here in Babylon are confused to what time it is, because they're under the hive mind of Babylon. And when you're not following the God of the Bible, the God who destroyed the tower, the God who destroyed the evildoers before the flood, you are now in the mix of confusion the Most High destroyed in the beginning. That's why you don't know what decisions to make right now. But those who truly believe in the Bible and understands its narrative know what time it is. What's going on in the earth right now is spiritual tyranny aimed against God's chosen people. It's a strategy against what? It's a strategy against Israelites. Against Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, we're about to go in now a little bit. Because that fourth beast, which is the Roman Empire, started with destroying our people. That fourth beast, brothers and sisters, would at the very end have a mark. And I'm going to go into that. But before I go into that, I played this last year, and I think people need to see it right now. People need to see it right now, because I told brothers and sisters, I told them that what they're doing right now is just a campaign that will lead to the mark of the beast, a spending system established through what? That's right, microchipping all of society. I said it last year, and I'm going to play the video that I played last year from the late Aaron Russo, the producer of Trading Places. And a lot of people, folks, I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of you slept on the movie Trading Places. Where here it is, Eddie Murphy, a 2-bit hustler from the ghetto, uneducated. And there was a bet between two rich elite powers who came together in Philadelphia and said, I can make him. Now listen to me clearly. I can make, hold on. Hold on. That I can make him. He has enough intelligence where we can take him off the street and he will be a force to be reckoned with in the business world, a nobody. And we can take this other guy who went to an Ivy League school with all the riches and powers and all the what you would call privileges of growing up Ivy League under an Ivy League family, and we can break him and make him destitute and make him nothing. Aaron Russo was dropping it right there. That at the end of the day, Satan controls either side under his world. And it was just a dollar bet for them. But it was showing something prophetically, though. Prophetic. That when you put our people in certain environments, even if we don't have the know-how in school and schooling to do so, that we excel. See? You have to realize they only created schools to do what? To make a caste system to keep us from excelling above them. But when it comes to naturally surviving and actually having tact and picking things up, we can pick up things without having school at all and excel beyond those who went to school for the same positions. Folks, Aaron Russo was dropping it. The educational system they set up in this world, it's just a caste system to keep us from actually achieving success and power like we do naturally. And they don't want you to know that they know that exists in us. That's why they have to put in all these societal barriers to keep us from achieving greatness. So I'm going to drop this right now. What did I say? Now, this is not my news. This is RT news. Pentagon creates a microchip that will detect the Colt 45 under the skin. Didn't I tell you? I said that, quote unquote, that those that are confused to this is going to fall for what's coming. That they're going to make it convenient for you to be able to travel and do everything else you want to do. Because why? You can walk through an airport or walk around and they'll easily be able to scan and detect whether or not you are diseased. The same way they're checking on whether or not you have a fever right now. You think those things are only calibrated to see if you have a fever? No, they'll know if you have COVID just by you walking into a building. But not if you're not what? Microchipped. So what must they do first? They must get the serum and metals in you so that you cannot reject the next technology to come. 5G, what they're doing there, the chemicals they put in our system on top of this technology will make the perfect slave for Satan. Huh? Aaron Russo, the same guy, he died of cancer, but he said it years ago in the early 90s, folks, what their real end game is. It's not about the Colt 45 serum. It's not about the campaigns of what they're saying right now. It's what the Bible warned us would happen. Let's listen.
The ultimate goal that these people have in mind is the goal to create a one world government run by the banking industry, run by the bankers, and they're doing it in sections. The European currency, the euro, and the European Constitution is one part of it. Now they're trying to do it in America with the North American Union, right? And they want to create a new currency called the American.
Now, there's more to it in this video. But in a nutshell, when you look at the whole interview, because I don't want to get up the whole interview here, fair use, is because he says at the end of the day, they asked him. What did they ask him? They asked him, he says, man, why are you trying to do this to the people? Why don't we just, let the people alone? He says, listen, and they told him, the bankers, the Rockefellers, what do you care about these people? Take care of your own family. But what did he say? Let me let you hear it. Just one piece. I have to keep it, I have to keep it in a way in which, in respect of what's going on here. Hold on.
This was
11 months before 9/11.
Yeah.
And Nick Rockefeller, who's a lawyer, he's
destruction. That was the next lie.
Now specifically, this was a little over 6 years ago.
This was
11 months before 9/11.
Yeah.
And Nick Rockefeller, who's a lawyer, he's become your friend over the previous years.
Fair use.
And he's saying to you that there's going to be this big event, and then out of that,
there's a war going on in Iraq, which we invaded.
Some big films, had a lot of other successes.
Right.
So they were trying to recruit you, and didn't it come down to the point of, hey, we are here to recruit you.
Didn't join the Council on Foreign Relations. I would have to get a letter to join them, but was I interested in that? and just stuff, leading you on. And I used to say to him that I never really did that because that wasn't where I was coming from. As much as I like you, Nick, your ways and my ways, we're on the opposite side of the fence. I don't believe in enslaving people, and
he would come back with, "Oh, I do." Or?
Well, it would be more like,
it's better for them.
Well, it's more like, how do I put it? It was like, what do you care about them? What do you care about those people? What difference does it make to you? Take care of your own life. Do the best you can for you and your family. What do the rest of the people mean to you? They don't mean anything to you. They're just serfs. They're just people. It was just a lack of caring, and that's just not who I was. It was just sort of like cold, it was just like cold, and I used to say to him, what's the point of all this? You have all the money in the world you need. You have all the power you need. What's the point? What's the end goal? And he said the end goal is to get everybody chipped.
Get everybody what?
Control the whole society.
Let's hear it again.
It was just a lack of caring. And that's just not who I was. It was just sort of like cold, it was just like cold, and I used to say to him, what's the point of all this? You have all the money in the world you need. You have all the power you need. What's the point? What's the end goal? And he said the end goal is to get everybody chipped, to control the whole society, to have the bankers, the elite people, the bankers and some governor controlling the world. And I said, do all the people in the Council on Foreign Relations believe this way you do? He said, no. Most of them believe they're doing.
What is the end game? He was asked. Aaron Russo, the producer of Trading Places, they say, listen, we like you. You have talent. You're gifted. Come amongst us. But this guy had a conscience. A little after this video, quote unquote, he came down with cancer. Okay? Here it is, folks. Folks, this was way back in the early 2000s that he said the end game is to get everyone chipped. Why is so many people confused? The Rothschilds breaks down to blood childs, Esau's children, the red child. See, unless you understand the Bible, how can you believe the beast? Can't you see what they're doing here? So a lot of people think this campaign is strictly about disease. No, it's about getting something in you that would have you comply for the end game. And the end game is to kill as many people, if possible, before Christ returns. Exactly. Especially if they're Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. That's the end game. Now, you can believe them, but the Bible says, let God be true and every man a liar. You can believe what they're saying if you want, but you know what you're not going to be able to say? You weren't warned. That you wasn't warned. You're under the hive mind of Babylon, in which they can control a large population through fear and make decisions strictly off of emotions, because you're under the spirit of the queen bee. See, a person that's rational, who think and operate and make decisions like men, aren't easily triggered through fear to make decisions. So they had to put everyone under what? The spirit of listening to women. Okay? And there's nothing, a woman in all her glory and her femininity is needed. But the Most High made man for a reason. He gave man the power to do what? to have dominion on earth, to make the decisions for the woman, for the family. And if you do it out of course, what would happen? The society spirals out of control because there is no balance. You can't make decisions strictly off of emotions. It's called the hive mind, being under the psychosis of Semiramis. Now, elder lawyer, in game. Let me pull up Eastward right here. In game. I told you I was going in. Now, a lot of things, guess what? It so happened, if we want to keep these channels up, certain things we can't even show at all. So I'm working on Patreon to launch that Monday, right after the Academy, for certain things that we can't show here because we don't want our channels deleted to be able to speak freely. And on this platform, we can only show you Bible things like we're breaking down now and certain clips that are already approved through Facebook or YouTube under fair use. Okay, so we have to be very guarded in what we say and still be effective to give you the information to make the right choices according to God and get ourselves together before the other shoe drop. So we're going to set up Patreon that will be ready to go. I already have AC working on that in the background starting Monday. And we're going to also be able to drop some of the news that we can't drop here to speak freely in the Academy. So I hope you all are there this Sunday. End game. Now, was Aaron Russo making that up? The Rothschilds told him the end game is to do what? What you care about these people? They're your servants. The end game is to get all people chipped. And if they don't comply, we'll turn their chip off. Now, he said that right out. And you know what? No one ever from the Rothschilds and others denied that Russo was told this. But Russo, Aaron Russo, even though he worked in Hollywood and all that, he was a Christian. He had a conscience. He was a Christian. See? So he says, why are you going to messing with these people? What's going on? We're seeing DMX pass. We're seeing Hank Aaron pass. We just seen Marvin Hagler pass. We're looking at all these people and aren't tying two and two together. It told us in Second Baruch, it told us that right before the very end, there'll be the fall of the great ones. And y'all not putting two and two together. They're squeezing us. They're squeezing our people who have the resources to help us on purpose. They're squeezing the people, be it in the sports arena, the entertainment arena, because they know in order for these people to sustain their lives, they must be able to travel and tour. And that the majority of the money that we make as a people is predicated off of large gatherings coming to see us. See, the corporations don't have to worry about that. They can have a whole stadium with banners and just pay for advertisement so that people can buy their products. They don't need a crowd to survive. But it so happened that the demographic that has an impact on helping our people financially are primarily in the entertainment field. So this is an attack on what? Whether or not our people can sustain financially to help us, to help the poor. You can't see this? So here it is. Those who don't know better, it's just going to fall. Y'all done. You're going to make decisions. You're not going to be able to draw them back because the Bible says if you make the decision and follow the beast, the Babylonian serum, the Babylonian ideology, the Bible gives us prophetically what's going to happen to you. And you're not going to be able to stand before God or people and others and say, well, I was so confused. I didn't know what to do. I was hearing this. The news was saying this. My family was saying that. What did God tell you to do? He's going to be like, oh, you talking about the people that's burning in hell waiting for you? What did they tell you to do again? The people that's right now suffering in hell, what did they say to you? And this is why Paul says, what if some did not believe? Shall your unbelief make the faith of God without effect? God forbid. Let God be true and every man a liar. He's going to say, you should have listened to me. You should have listened to my son. Good. All right, the water. Elder Lawyer, in game, the fourth beast is Rome. I already showed you Vespasian and Titus, who had a plan to destroy our people in 70 AD. That same beast, the fourth beast, under the ideology, religion, and government of Babylon, would establish a new Babylon called the daughter of Babylon under the Edomites, who are Rome, to enslave God's people until the times of the Gentiles be come in, like Christ stated. Now that they can no longer control us because the cat is out of the bag, and now they can no longer hide the fact that we know we're the children of Israel, they have ramped up their campaign against us to chemically destroy us or otherwise. They're going to, guess what? They're going to teach all, they're going to, let me tell you, they're going to incentivize sin. Because another weapon that's used against us is immorality. You're going to see they're going to incentivize. You can get yourself a website, OnlyFans, sell yourself online. Hey, let's make marijuana free almost for almost nothing. Let's keep them high. Let's crack drugs. Don't lock them up for doing it. I'll tell you what, let them set up drug dispensaries. A matter of fact, let's allow prostitution. Let's legalize prostitution. Let's make sin abound, which is their last recourse, because under sin we're not protected by God. And through that darkness, 9 times out of 10, when you're sinning, through that confusion, Satan can easily get you under the hive mind to be controlled. Right? Let's go, Elder Lawyer. Let's go. Revelation. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Revelation chapter 13, verse number 15.
Come on.
And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
So if you don't follow the ideology of the government, their plan is to destroy you. Tyranny, like it was in ancient Babylon. Come on.
Verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and or in their foreheads.
Now, Elder Lawyer, let me now pull up Eastward. Let me pull up Eastward here. This way, we can let God be true and every man a liar. We've been told you what their end game was. We've been told you. Eastward, here it is. Here it is, Eastward. In the original Greek, it was shown, Christ showed it to the churches of Asia Minor what would happen. Verse again, Elder Lawyer.
Revelation chapter 13, verse number 16.
Come on.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor,
so he
don't
care if you're poor or rich, like it was in trading places. You had a poor guy who was turned rich and a rich guy who was made poor. Read.
to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
So let's break it down now. He calls of all, that's everyone on the earth, citizens, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. Let's get that mark real quick. That mark, right? Let me pull it up here. That mark breaks down to what? I want y'all to see this. That mark breaks down to a scratch or etching. That is a stamp, a badge of servitude. The same as 542. Let's go to Greek 542 and see what that says. Greek 542. Let me get it here. 1 second. One moment. Greek 542. It reads, it comes from karax, which is to sharpen to a point. To sharpen to a point. Sounds familiar to you? Something that can go under your skin, a needle. It's Greek 5482. Type that up on eSword. Google it. Greek G5482, because it's eSword. I don't have the Greek on this other side here. It states to sharpen to a point. That means a needle. The idea of scratching, that means under the skin. That is, by implication, a palisade or a rampart or the mound or circumvallation in a siege. In a siege. What happened to us in 70 AD? We were entrenched in a siege. So they would use the army to eventually implement the mark, which is a needle. They would use the army in a siege to use the point of a needle. Huh? Now I'm going to finish reading what you have, Elder Lawyer, and then I'm going to make sure, I'm going to see if I can pull this up in the Greek. Go on.
Yes, sir. Verse number 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the number of the beast, or the number of his name.
And the number of his name. And what is the number of his name?
Verse 18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
666 is the mark of a man, Satan, the beast. And when you break down the word, that C word, it's 666. It's the serum that will be placed in people that would have them comply to the end game, the mark of the beast. Now, any Christian who would read this in Greek would see, well, if it's administered through a needle, we're not supposed to get it. It's 666. And that word starting with a C is what? It's a chemical that leads to the mark of the beast. Because why? Folks, once this stuff is in you, it's programmable. And I'm going to tell you, it tell you in the book of Revelations that book of Revelation 13th chapter that a lot of people are going to be amazed from the miracles. The miracles is going to be some people who are dealing with issues, they're going to be able to reprogram it, and you're going to be able to overcome sicknesses and all that. On the surface, for some people, it's going to be like a miracle because it's programmable. Either way. So Satan is going to say, you don't have to believe God in Christ. I can heal. I can help you. Bow to me. And other people who are against the system, because a number will come with what you do, they'll be able, like Aaron Russo say, to be able to get rid of dissidents. By what? A click on the computer. By the touch of their hand, they'll be able to get you connected with your, they're going to already have the stuff in you, and they'll be able to just terminate or get rid of you right there on the spot. That's the book of Revelation. Now, that's the Bible there. Now, if you are a man or woman of the Most High, the decisions are clear. The choices are clear. You would follow God over man. Listen, and as far as I'm concerned, I believe that if you are a believer and believe in God, that you must make decisions with him in mind first. Or you can make decisions, without realizing the consequences or outcome. Now, what happens according to the book of Revelations, if you receive this mark in you through a syringe? Let's read it, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. This is Revelation chapter 16, verse number 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the seven angels, Go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of God upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which had worshipped his image. Read that again. Verse 2, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image.
And upon them who worshipped his image. One moment. So the Bible tells us that you're going to be able to recognize who got this mark. Why? Because medically, physically, you'll be able to see eventually a grievous sore that would break out on the people. Like pus and all that. With the body trying to reject it. See? So there was a grievous sore after getting something injected in people. Now, I'm reading here from RT News for those who missed it. Now, listen, people can make their own decisions, right? But RT News reads, okay, here we go. Let's see. Web. Yeah. One second, here it is. RT New reads, the Pentagon creates a microchip that will detect Code 45 under the skin. That's news. That's the news. So here it is, and now it's segueing into something else. The same way in 70 AD, we were told that it was just about, military hanging around just to make sure that, our people don't rise up and begin to destroy stores and all this other stuff. And folks, 2019, we started to hear about these stories that magically went away, claiming that Israelites was going into certain neighborhoods, going into stores, harassing the synagogue of Satan in their areas. These cant stories that would demonize Israelites. Does this sound familiar? And then a few years later, you had the military coming amongst our people to destroy us in 70 AD. And now, a few years right after 2019, where they claim Israelites was doing something, now they're claiming that we're disease, we're inordinately affected by it, and something that came out of Asia is now just made the ghettos of North Philly and Chicago and Compton there its home, and that we're the enemy that need to be what? Contained and not be able to travel. To not be able to travel. Read that again, Elder Lawyer.
Revelation chapter 16, verse number 2.
Come on.
And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and a grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image.
That worshiped his image. A grievous sore that comes from what? You got it. The pricking. So, like I told people, this is a two-layered thing. People talking about what's going on now is the mark of the beast. They're putting in the infrastructure for the mark of the beast using this. And the serums that they're going to be utilizing is going to prep the body not to reject the next technology, AI. And through that, you'll be totally controlled by Satan himself. Anything they want you to do through this program, you'll be an agent for hell. You'll be Satan's child to be used in this earth like a zombie against the righteous people, against those who believe. The zombie apocalypse. And you're not going to be able to control it even if you want to, because it's going to enter your DNA. It will change your DNA, and you will be a child of Satan. You will be a part of the Nephilim family. Now let's go to Revelation and see the final judgment for those who choose man over God.
This is Revelation chapter 14 and verse number 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of his holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
In the presence,
and the smoke.
Go on.
Yes, sir. And in the presence of the Lamb. Verse 11. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name.
So I don't care what people are saying, folks. They act like they're confused. They don't know what's better. Now, folks, people are actually on board with this, but they are afraid to say it publicly. They're down with Satan. They believe in this system more than God. That's what they're saying by doing this. So the Most High is saying, well, okay, you chose your side. Burn in hell with the God you serve, Satan. And you know what? I'm perplexed as how many so-called believers are falling victim to this campaign, who claim to believe in God. And when you look at the people who are behind pushing all this, they're straight Satanists. They're going to be administering this stuff at tattoo parlors. And I'm going to tell you, folks, watch how they're going to do this. They're going to make it, if you have businesses already, like if you have salons and things of that nature, they're going to give you caveats, money, and all that to administer there. Supermarkets, it's going to be administered. Every place is going to be made convenient for you to do what? Bow to the devil and die doing so. So what I did was I quantified this in a couple of minutes to say, well, okay, the hive mind, the mentality where they would use women, because women usually make knee-jerk decisions based on the emotions before running it through rational thinking. So the hive mind is to put women in control first and have them be the catalyst for the campaign. Oh no, oh, my mother, my father. Oh no, because they know women like to get in front of things before it happens. But they can use that as a weapon. You can't just trigger someone into an experiment and have them make a life decision based on an experimental time that we've never rationally seen since the earth began. If any time, this is a time we need to wait and see what's going on instead of being triggered into decisions. But they know the reaction of someone who's emotional. Who's emotional. And if you're not dealing with a sound spiritual mind and grounded in the Most High and make decisions in this day strictly on emotions, you're going to be destroyed. So they want you triggered under a hive mind. Okay? That's why when people be emotionally, they all blow up. Oh no, you see, I seen it, my aunt, my uncle. And they go, listen, this is why they've triggered our family and our women like as such in our society, to make it think that if they're emotional, that means it's rational and we should follow these inordinate emotions. And they'll get someone that's already triggered, be it Trayvon Martin's mother, or this is how they push their campaigns, folks, off of, oh, my baby, oh, this, oh, that. You cannot make no decisions off of the hive mind. You need a rational man there saying, well, I understand what you're dealing with could be wrong. But what happens to our people long term if we make the decisions they're trying to make using this trigger? You need a man saying there, well, listen, I'm down with protecting our people, but these people are creating a campaign that's going to destroy us long term, long after this event you're triggered under. Are you following me? That's the hive mind. And I'm going to be going into that, talking about the Babylonian hive mind, because women by default are more agreeable. Okay? Not wanting conflict. Okay? And some people will say, well, men are erosion. Exactly. You know why they're like this? You know why men aren't acting emotionally being triggered now? Because they're under the hive mind. If you raised around women and you're triggered like women, eventually you begin to make decisions like women. Oh no, man. Hey man, I'm gonna tell you, man, that thing. And it'd be like, listen, what did God say, dude? You're going to make a decision off of how you feel? Do you know who these people are that are cooking this stuff up? Do you know the end game prophetically is to come against God's people, the poor people who have suffered long enough? All right, let's open up the lines. This coming Sabbath, I'll be going into I'm going to call this, what would I call Saturday's lesson? I'm going to call it, From Rome to America, the Desolation. And I'm going to go into Vespasian and Titus. Elder Lawyer, just one thing before we go. Let's pull up Josephus before I open up the calls. Pull up Josephus, and I want to read what happened when they convinced us that it was okay to be policed in our neighborhoods. Okay? And what happened? What came from that? Who orchestrated that same beast? Okay? And while you let me know when you have that, and while you're pulling that up, Elder Lawyer, I want to also show this for those who missed it. The Illuminati card. the Illuminati card, martial law, and in the Illuminati card is showing what? It's showing the army stationed in front of the Capitol. And it so happened these Illuminati cards came out in the early 2000s. And it's 2021. And the same thing that was on the Illuminati cards is happening right now as we speak here in Washington, D.C. At the same time, they're talking about the Pentagon creates a microchip that will detect Code 45. And then when you read the card, it says, play this card at any time to give plus 10 power or resistance, your choice, to any government group you control. It's used with action. It must be played when this action is first declared and counts only for that action. If used for defense, the bonus lasts until the end of the current turn. So an event must be complete before this card ends. So they must use this to complete an event. See? And is good for defense only and does not count towards the goal. Does not count what? Toward the end goal. Because we know the end goal is the mark of the beast, to have every person marked with a number inside their bodies. Just like you scan food today. Every other product is actually, folks, in a database to be scanned, except people. We're the last product to be put in the database, the beast system. So they say, let's play this card, but this card will not be used for the end game. It's only to progress one event. It was from the election all the way up until using the left, right, to have everyone believe that something happened there so the military can be there in the Capitol for until this one event is finished. What one event? To administer Satan's serum. The Illuminati card. They had that stuff out there years ago, and they called people conspiracy theorists for stating that that was the plan the whole time. Huh? And then you see that card that came from the early to mid 2000s being played right now. On top of that card being played, same looking guys here, they're talking about a microchip that will detect certain diseases under your skin. And you think it's a coincidence that the book of Revelation, Christ told the churches that would be their end game against our people? To mark all of the people under one mind like they were at the Tower of Babel. And keep in mind, the Most High has a remnant that will be saved through this, but we must stand under his protection by following his laws, statutes, and commandments, and put our families under the hedge of the Almighty. We must do so, and we'll be protected. We'll be guided. If you fall for any of this stuff out there, you're going to fall for all of it. And according to the Bible, you will be judged. Elder Lawyer, I'm going to call I'm going to call this Sabbath lesson and set it up, AC, the end game, the desolation. This Sabbath lesson, the end game, the desolation. Now, Elder Lawyer, make sure you put that up there, AC. This Saturday, we hitting it. We're going to parallel what happened in 70 AD with the events in the earth today. This coming Sabbath. Because I want to roll into this academy in full power with prophecy from the Sabbath and take that energy right into that Hebrew and Bible Academy this Sunday, week 1, with the creation of the universe. Now, Lawyer, now there's a few things. I know you probably have a few points you want to make, but before we do so, let me make this announcement again. This coming Sunday, April 18th, begins our Hebrew and Bible Academy. Week 1, the creation of the universe. We will have brand new lessons, in-depth lessons that have never been taught in this academy, like portals, the gates between heaven and earth. How do angels travel? You're going to find out there's no such thing as no comets coming around and some rocks coming into the earth. They've been lying to you the whole time. We're going to be breaking down how angels travel into the earth. The creation of the universe, we're going to be breaking down portals also in this academy. Also, marriage and family, can it survive? How do man and woman team up together in the spirit of the Most High to destroy the spirit of Baphomet? Okay. The spirit of Baphomet is what is the alphabet. Also, I want to go into 70 weeks of Daniel, breaking down the 70 weeks leading to the last Jubilee, which is the judgment which is coming, which as far as the last, what the Christians call the tribulation. And by the way, Christians, you will not be raptured anywhere. You will be persecuted. So that's another lie the Jesuits gave you. So instead of focusing on Elder Lawyer, the virgin birth and tearing down that lie, this academy, we're going to go into, in Christianity, the rapture deception, the Jesuit deception, the rapture deception. We're going to identify the Jesuits who lied to you to make you believe that Christ is going to have you disappear for 7 years while the bad stuff go on. So, Elder Lawyer, this Christianity breakdown, we're going to segue off of the virgin lie, and we're going all the way into what? The rapture deception, this academy. We're going to touch on it all the way, showing you their records, that the Jesuits knew they was going to lie to you to make you believe in a different coming. To make you believe, because they knew that Christians would be the only obstacle at the very end against Satan's power. So they had to get theologian schools to teach Christians that they don't have to stand against Satan at the end, because before the bad stuff happens, that Christ was going to disappear you into the air. They purposely lied to you. You should have read Christ's words instead of listening to Jesuits. There will be no rapture. That's a lie. The same way rapture isn't in the Bible, Trinity isn't in the Bible. All these are satanic ideologies. That's right. Father, Son, Holy Spirit is in the Bible, but that's not the Trinity. The Trinity of Babylon is Satan, Semiramis, and Nimrod. That's the Trinity you're believing in. There's no word Trinity. Trinity comes from Babylon. So we're going to be breaking this whole thing down, rapture deception, in the Hebrew and Bible Academy. We're going to also, at the very end, break down the book of Revelation and break down how it all ends. The reason that Christ gave us the book of Revelation, and we're going to show you exactly what the Most High, through Christ, showed John on the Isle of Patmos. The end. And at the end, you know, we have to end it with a happy ending. Our people in the kingdom, ruling on earth, is going to be the last lesson. The judgment of the nations and us standing safe under our God. Man, woman, and child in union in one spirit, like God, Christ, and the Holy Spirit is in heaven. The kingdom of heaven on earth. The rulership that was promised to Abraham. I'll be teaching that week 12. Okay, so you don't want to miss this. Hebrew and Bible Academy, get in. Go to historytimes.org. historytimes.org and enroll. Okay. And I'm going to be going into the fact that we were Shemites, not Hamites. We started off as Egyptian citizens living in Egypt, children of Abraham living in Egypt, and we made Egypt great. Before we became Israelites, before we were Israelites, Because don't forget, we came out a great multitude. And when we got the land of Canaan, we started naming our children after the name of Israelites. That's when we became a race of people as a nation, when we left Egypt and went in to the land of Canaan. I'm going into Egypt to show you what we were and how our greatness made Egypt great. The children of Israel as citizens of Egypt. You don't want to miss that. Elder Lawyer, anything you have to say before I open up the lines? And I thank you all. We got about almost 3,000 here. You know, we brought 1,000 down, but it's okay. I appreciate you all hitting the like button. And folks, again, the confusion that you see out here concerning people not knowing what to do is because they don't believe in God. Stop trying to force someone to see what God only made your eyes to see. And you know why the Most High made it where you could see? Because you wanted to see. You wanted to do what's right. These people are living their judgment. They chose to live in confusion against God. So now they have no choice but what? To choose Satan. Stop getting frustrated. The Most High said, Christ told him, listen, your foes shall be they of your own household. You're going to have husbands making decisions with Satan against their own wife. Wives making decisions with Satan against their own husband. Children going off to school thinking they're no better than the family. Coming and bringing that garbage they learned in school to influence their parents. All of that is what to be expected. Stop being surprised seeing the judgment of God unfold. Stop saying, well, oh my God, I can't believe my family would do this, or my boss would do that, or my cousin would do this, or my husband would do that. Have you not read the Bible? This is their life. Let them choose their life. And like the Most High, like Christ told the disciples, remember Lot's wife. She looked back. Lot looked forward because he loved God more than her. It didn't mean he didn't love her, but she loved Sodom and Gomorrah more than God. It didn't mean she didn't love her husband. She loved her husband, but the cares of this world took her. So stop being surprised that, oh my God, people call me what I'm going to do here and what I'm going to do there. Listen, don't call me about decisions that you know are tests between you and God. You want me to make the decision so that you can come back and say, well, I did this because Elder Ricard said do it. That means you believe in me. Don't come asking me some questions that you know the answer to it already. You don't need to be confirmed through me. God told you what decisions to make concerning this stuff, this campaign. If you believe in God, you trust in God. And stop looking for some type of confirmation through a man. Don't come to me knowing, and let me tell you, I'm talking to people and they know the decision when I'm speaking with them. And I'm telling them, listen, this is what God say. Well, I kind of thought that way. So what are we talking about here? You think I'm going to tell you to serve Satan? That I'm going to tell you to take something that I know that's going to destroy you? Woe be the man that trusts in man and maketh strength his arm. If you believe in the Most High, you don't need me to confirm anything. Choose right with God. No, these people are studied. Let me tell you, these people are studied. But let me tell you, folks, every individual have their own test with God. And none of us are going to always have a cushion or a support group to make the right decision. It doesn't work that way. Everyone have their individual test, and you know what your test is. And you shouldn't have to call me to confirm that. That's your walk with God. That's your decision with him. And I'm talking on the phone. I'm like, okay, well, this is what the Bible says. This is what God says. There's no middle ground. We're going to go through persecution and tribulation. Welcome to the tribulation. Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Floor
sir.
is yours.
Yes, sir. I'll be very brief. I think it's evident for anyone who has been following our lessons from the beginning of this that we are in a time of what the Bible calls strong delusion, where people are those who have pleasure, as it says in 2 Thessalonians, those who have pleasure in unrighteousness are being led to believe a lie, one lie after another. And we've showed you time and time again how the narratives have switched, how the conversation has switched. When one thing is found to be a lie, they've already moved on to the excuse, or they've moved on to a point where those who are pushing the agendas are pretty much blameless. They can't lose because, again, all the information that's being put out there is being placed in their favor. But one thing I wanted to highlight in regards to this is, and I say that because right now everyone is having this discussion, as you mentioned, Elder, this conversation going back and forth. Should I go through with the medical procedure? Should I not go through with the medical procedure? People are really contemplating this. People are really thinking about this and going back and forth. And you have arguments on one side versus another as to whether we should go through with certain medical procedures. But the reality is this. This is a perfect example of how the conversation has changed so many times that people don't even realize that early on, they told us that this ailment, I'm going to call it an ailment, has a high recovery rate, in which the reality is that you don't need a medical procedure to overcome the ailment. So we shouldn't even be talking about a medical procedure, understanding the high recovery rate. This shouldn't even be, this conversation shouldn't be on the table. But the conversation has changed so much. And again, the earth has been taken in so much strong delusion, and everyone is believing in so much of the lies that they're forgetting how this narrative have developed over time and how we got here in the first place. But this one thing I wanted to just leave the brothers and sisters with scripturally, going to the book of Matthew 6:24, dealing with the words of Christ, because with this strong delusion that's taken the earth, Satan is coming from behind the veil and he's making himself known. He's coming into the light. Okay. This is why you're able to see videos like the one we spoke about a few weeks ago. I'm not going to mention the name of the individual. We're not going to give him any more press. You all know exactly what we're speaking about. But it's a prime example of how Satan is coming out from behind the veil. He's coming into the forefront and he's making himself known in many ways in the society. And he's using this campaign. This campaign is one of the major things in which Satan he's coming forward, and he's making it known that, listen, all of those who have always served me, you're going to have to make a decision. Either you come out openly and accept me as Lord, or I got to move on. You know, get thee away from me. The same way Christ says, get thee away from me, for I never knew you. Satan is taking that same exact stance. So when it's time, you cannot be hot or cold. With Christ, you can't be hot or cold. And with Satan, you can't be hot or cold. Either you serve him, or that's it. He's going to start cutting people off. And that's what we're seeing. But I'm going to read this here in the book of Matthew 6:24, where Christ says, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, which ye shall eat, or which ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body more than raiment? And these are principles that Christ is putting forward. I'm not going to read the whole passage. You can read it in your own time. But this is the information that Christ has put forward. We've read it. We've studied it. We've broken it down multiple times. But it's these principles that we're really going to have to live by in this time. Because Satan is going to keep pressing, and he's going to keep pressing and putting backs against the wall until there's no choice but for those who believe in the Most High to truly trust in the Most High. You're not going to be able to finagle and deal outside of the Most High, or be on the middle ground, or be on the fence and think you're going to make your way through. You're going to have to serve. You're going to have to choose your master. Either be Satan or be the Most High in Christ. And with that, I yield.
Yes, one thing I wanted to show real quick here. Let's see. This is the one I wanted here. $54.82. This is what I wanted to show real quick. And thank you, Elder Lawyer. And when you broke down that take no thought, that means not that you don't need these things, Elder Lawyer, but you cannot make decisions based on worry. That's where Satan wants you.
Exactly.
You're worrying because you don't see no end in sight outside of how you normally provide it for your family. You can't make a decision on that strictly. That's where faith comes in that. That's why Christ says, take no thought of it. He says, look at the birds. The birds don't toil, they don't work, they don't do anything. But I done seen birds, so big like they falling over. He says, don't you think I care more for you, ye of little faith? So Satan is trying to say, well, listen, I'm going to take all your luxuries away from you. And the Lord is like, listen, take no thought of that. I know what you want. I know what you need. I know your luxuries. I know, but I have a plan for you if you're willing to sustain and stand with me through this test. I got you. I wanted to show this real quick, Elder Lawyer, and that was a great scripture you brought out there. Let me move this out of the way real quick. Let me move that out of the way and let me pull this up again. When you look at the word right here, is the word I didn't show y'all earlier that came from the mark. And when you look at this word, brothers and sisters, in the Greek, it's what? It's from the word charagma, and it goes to Greek 5482, charax, which means to sharpen to a point. Look at that. That's how they're going to administer it. Through the idea of scratching. And it leads to a circumvallation in a siege. Military administering, folks, a needle. You can't make this stuff up. So I need some people out there to tell me, folks, what book that was written thousands of years, even before our captivity, is 100% on point prophetically with what's going on in the earth right now? Is there any other book on earth outside of our Bible? And if it is, where is it? What? When you look at the words in the Greek, the Most High through Christ was showing the disciples the future, the time we're living in right now. And then, out of nowhere, let me put it up one more again. One more again, last but not least, before I open up the calls, because I can't be up here all night tonight. it says here, the Pentagon creates a microchip that will detect. Now, don't forget, Aaron Russo told us years ago before he passed, the producer of Trading Places says the Rothschilds told him it was to chip everyone. And I told everyone last year, don't get caught up into all this smoke. This is just segueing, putting the infrastructure in for the mark of the beast. But when the CERN gets up in you, guess what? You're going to be subjected to, guess right, you're going to already be programmed to get the mark. So if you make a decision now to do what they're saying outside of God, guess what? It's going to be simple to make the next decision. It's going to be easy. With that, I'm going to open it up. You can have your questions, comments. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to leave it wide open. I have about 30 minutes to answer questions or to sit here and dialogue with you. But did you know what we were breaking down was in the Bible? Did you know the same idea to have everyone under a hive mind so that they can actually push any campaign, including this, was the hive mind that was made under Nimrod and Semiramis that would make all people join together against God at the Tower of Babel? Did you know that when CERN came on the grid a few years ago, in about 2012, did you know that CERN and what activated CERN is the fact that they came out and scientists say that what CERN was actually part of the base of the Tower of Babel? Did y'all know that? So here was the plan. The plan was to get everyone under a hive mind where they're triggered through their emotions. They was able to do that through programs, TV, movie, whatever the case is, where we would make decisions off emotions without sound rationale. And above all, without God as a key component in our lives for decisions. That was one thing. Then they had to go into what you would call the mental health phase after breaking up the family and get as many people as they can on psychotropics so that we wouldn't use a sound mind and a rational mind in a time that's needed. We'll be confused because they went through years of making us believe we needed happy medicine. Then after they segue there, that's why the Bible says be sober-minded. Once they got everyone used to taking drugs to escape reality, now people are too confused to understand that we're in the time of the end, the time in which Christ prophesied he'll come to save us. And we're so confused that now we have no choice but to depend on Satan through the principalities and powers of the air to be directed. The confusion started at the Tower of Babel. And it could only affect, guess what? The confusion could only affect those who were not under the guidance of the Almighty. It's called the hive mind. And I'm going into that. Queen bee and all that. It's an ideology, folks. It's way deeper than what you think. It's a religion. But I'll be dealing with that in the academy, right? All right. So, Elder Lawyer, let me get the calls in so that we can, I'm going to call you right back, okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to call you right back. One moment. All right. 1 second, 515. You see the number here, 515-605-9327. 515-605-9327 to call in if you have a question or comment. Also, if you want to donate, $GOCC 144 donate. $GOCC 144 donate. It's the one you use at the top. If you want to contribute to the elders who deal with the weekly broadcast, that's the top one. The one under there are those who are already in the congregation or whatever. If you're in a church already, you use the one down there. If you tithe in or something, that's an option to put under your region. But it's primarily for the broadcast. If you are enlightened and you want more of this work to actually progress to others, to help the elders who are actually using this time to fill you up with this word and understanding. If you have Cash App, it's $ GOCC 144 donate. If you don't have Cash App, it's okay. Go to gatheringofchrist.org. Gatheringofchrist.org. And there's a full list. Hit donate. There's a full list of ways outside of Cash App that you can actually help the work. Okay. With that, hold tight. Let me bring in the blog talk now. One moment. 1 second. And yes, I have to eat, actually. 1 moment.
Connecting you now. Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Okay, we're live. 515-605-9327. Call in, question or comment. This is actually part 2 from our broadcast this Sabbath. And again, we invite you all into our Sabbath lesson, which will be on our regular page, our regular station, A Gathering 144, where we keep it strictly scripture to try to save our page and keep our page up, knowing that we're being censored and shadow banned for almost speaking at this point. We're going to segue into our Sabbath lesson directly into the Hebrew and Bible Academy, week 1. Okay, get in. You don't want to miss the academies. A lot of information that we cannot divulge here. Also, Monday, we're going to start our Patreon page. So be on the lookout, brothers and sisters, for the Patreon page. That's where we're going to put up all the information that we can no longer share on this platform. So you'll have that as a member on Patreon to get all the information that they won't allow you to actually see here anymore. We're going to put it all there. And, and that's going to be for members only type deal. So it'll be there. More ways to help the work. All right. So let's go. 515-605-9327. 515-605-9327. You see that? And we're going to go down the line. Questions or comment. We're going to keep it open. 404 area code first. Make sure we're not playing in the background. If we are playing on a speaker, make sure you have headphones so it doesn't feed back. 404 area code. Shalom.
Elder, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. I'm doing well.
I'm calling. Thank you. I'm calling to talk about the confusion, anxiety, and the nervousness that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And the broadcast is great so far. The reason I want to talk about that is I'm a chiropractor, and I went to get my teeth cleaned last week at my dentist's office.
Okay.
And the girl that came in to clean my teeth, she was very nervous, and she began to ask me questions because I guess as a chiropractor, she wanted to just get my opinion on things. So she asked me, if I was going to take the Coke 45, slick malt liquor, Corona with a lime, Sunny Delight jab.
Yeah. And we have to be loose. We have to be loose with it. So make sure we say words like, what word did you use earlier, lawyer? The medical procedure.
Medical procedure.
Oh, medical procedure.
Just say that. Yeah. Yes. Go on.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, she asked me if I was going to take the medical procedure, and I told her I was not. And she mentioned that everyone at her office, all the dentists and workers, had taken the medical procedure, but she was very nervous. She said, "I'm very nervous, and I'm just confused about it." And so I simply just told her, from a biblical perspective, I said, look, if you're nervous about getting it, then this proves that it is not of God. I said, if this was of God, if this was of AHAYAH, you would have peace about it. And that's just what I want to tell the listeners, that, if they have family members who are confused and they're nervous about this thing, that's not of God. Because God gives us peace. And I just want to leave this last scripture. It's Isaiah chapter 26, verse 3. It says, "Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusts in thee." So confusion, anxiety, and nervousness is not of God. So if you are having these emotionals, that proves that this is not of the Most High, AHAYAH. And that's all I want to say, Elder. I appreciate your broadcast. I've been in the Hebrew Bible Academy. This will be my third one, and the things that I've been learning is just awesome. So I appreciate you.
Brother, we appreciate you, and I'm glad you quantified that for brothers and sisters who might be concerned. And it's natural to be nervous in a time like this, and we're here to build the foundation to make sure that people know it's safe to trust in the Most High God. That's a choice too.
Yes.
But thank you, brother.
Right. Yes.
All right. That is a choice.
Thank you.
All right. And I'm glad he quantified that and eased the concerns, because he's right. Would God put you in a predicament in which you're confused concerning the decision? That in of itself tell you it's Satan. And it tells us in 1 Corinthians 14:33. Write this down. 1 Corinthians 14:33. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the churches of all the saints. If you believe in Christ and God, you wouldn't be confused, because you understand prophetically the time we're in. We're supposed to be the forerunners to let everyone know it's safe to trust in Christ, not to have people make decisions in the midst of confusion. Only Satan would have it so. If I'm pressured to do it, then it can't be of God. If I'm being inundated through the corporate structure to do it, it must be of Satan, understanding that all the corporations in this earth, right, were established by the corporate CEO, Satan, Lucifer himself. So you can't break under pressure. Because if you break under this, what are you going to do when they come with the last phase, the next phase? Let's go. Great call. 407 area code. At any time you'd like to come in, Elder Lawyer, you can. 407. And after that, 803. 407.
Good evening, Elder. Good evening, Elder. How are you?
I'm blessed by the Almighty. Yourself?
I wanted to just... Yes, sir. You are. I wanted to just ask a quick question.
Yeah.
So the church I came from, which is a Pentecostal church, our church, the church I came from was worldwide. So the overseer of the church went and told all of the members to go out and get the vaccine.
Oh, they get the medical procedure.
The members are just lying.
The medical procedure.
Sorry, medical. Yes, sir. Sorry, the medical procedure. So I wanted to find out what would happen to the people that got the medical procedure already. Will there be an opportunity to repent, or is that kind of a done deal?
You have a Bible with you?
Yes, sir.
Grab your Bible. Let me know when you have it.
Got it? Yes, sir, I have it.
Right? Hold on. All right. 1 second. What type of Bible you have
Yes,
there?
sir. King James. I've
there
been
you
in every academy for 6 years straight, never missed. That's the only Bible I have.
And you know that King James was a black man.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm in the body. I'm baptized.
Okay. All right.
I'm just asking to know what to tell my family that are still in the church.
Okay. Go to Luke, the 6th chapter. Now, I'm not going to answer your question because the Bible says, right? Let God be true and every man a liar, correct?
Yes, sir.
So if you were asking Christ this question, what would he answer? Let's go to Luke 6 and 39.
I have that, sir.
Read it.
Luke 6 and 39 says, "And he spake a parable unto them. Can the blind lead the blind? Shall they not both fall into the ditch?"
So what did Christ say? Because listen, if I can see,
They're doomed.
listen, if I can see and my pastor's blind, I'm not following him over a cliff. So that's where it comes into. You must study to show your own self approved. That's no different than brothers and sisters going to Guyana and drinking the Kool-Aid given to them by Jim Jones.
Yes, sir.
And he said that. So if you
Yes, sir.
if you study to show thyself approved, you will know when your pastor is a nut job. So the bottom line is this: the blind leadeth the blind. If the blind follow the blind, they will both fall in a ditch, because it wasn't that pastor's responsibility, okay, to have me study to show myself approved. Okay.
Wow.
So, and then the Bible tell you that some of these people want to believe they're pastors. So because of that, he will send them a strong delusion that they will believe a lie. Because they really worship their pastor over Christ. All right. So
Yeah. That is
Christ,
so true.
there you go.
And Elder,
Go ahead.
just one last thing before I go. I just wanted to find out. I appreciate you doing that lesson. You said lesson 12 in the next academy of what it's going to be like in the kingdom. I always wanted a lesson about that, because with everything that's going on, you read about it, but you can't really fathom, because the Bible says we can't even imagine what it's going to be like. So I'm really glad you're going to be doing that lesson to kind of give us, that end game, that hope to look forward to.
Yeah.
Because everything, out here is chaotic and crazy. These people are just lining up for the medical procedure. So it gives us as believers in this body that hope to see that and what it's going to be like. I'm excited for that. Like I said, I've been in every academy for 6 years straight.
Thank you,
and
sister.
Every academy is different every single time.
Bless you.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Money well spent. I would encourage anyone and everyone to join the academy. I wasted all of my life in church. To be in this academy is amazing. Thank you so much for what you and the elders do. We appreciate you so much, my family and I.
Well, thank you, sister, and thank you for your support. Bless you. All right?
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
You have a
All
blessed
right.
evening.
Bless
Thank you.
We told him. Hey, we told him. Hey, people don't even. You may think you know what it is until you get in. That's all I can say. And then once you get in, you'll be like, hold up. This ain't what I thought it was. HistoryTimes.org. Another thing, HistoryTimes.org, because there's so many questions out there about what happens for the new kingdom with us. A lot of us can't even imagine ourselves being in that role, running things. So you have some people out there talking about we're going to be beating people, we're going to be doing this to people and all that and all that. So you have that out there. Let me tell you, we're not going to have to folks stoop to such depths. The nations are going to love us in position. The last academy I'm going to teach, past the judgment of the Gentiles, I'm going to teach the kingdom of heaven, what's in store for us who've endured to that time. Starting with Christ coming through the atmosphere, standing before the people. That week 12. After the judgment, what we get, right? It's going to be crazy. I'm going to break down the holy days, the Sabbaths, how all of us are going to fall in line with Christ. He's going to direct us to go into different parts of the earth to get our brothers and sisters. All of that week 12 of the academy. You don't want to miss it. All right. Let's go down the line. 985 area code. HistoryTimes.org. 414 area code. Shalom. You're live. 414.
Hello?
Shalom.
Hello, Elder, you hear me?
Yes, you're live. You're live.
How you doing, Elder Ricard? This is Jonathan from Milwaukee.
How are you?
How's it going?
Blessed.
I'm doing just fine. First of all, let me say I truly enjoyed the classes. The academy is off the chain.
Thank you.
I used to preach in the church, teach Sunday school. I have never, ever learned as much as I've learned in these 3 academies that I've been a part of. It's just been crazy. So much so that even the pastor that I was under and friends that I know don't even deal with me anymore. It's my brother and them say, you ain't never went in like that even when you used to preach. But I love what you taught. I mean, I don't know. It's like the understanding now blows my mind. Sometimes I sit down and I have to bring things back to my understanding because I'm like, this don't seem real. It just doesn't seem real. I can't wait till the church comes. I hope we get a church here in Milwaukee. I would love to. I've been actually gathering stuff for us. And when you do decide to come, I'm trying. I got a bunch of chairs in my office. I have a construction company, and I do construction work. So they had an office building that was closing down. I bought all the chairs that they had left over, and I put them up. And I'm trying my best to keep it. So when y'all do decide to come, I want to be here to help out, to be able to help set it up here. Because when people ask, well, where do you go? Because that's all I talk about now. Us being Israel, y'all got to listen to Elder Ricard. He's something else. I'm telling you, he bring it. I said, sometimes you hurt your feelings. I said, I've seen how he teach it. I said, it's something else. I actually paid for one of my minister friends that I've known my whole life. I actually paid for him to go to the academy just for him to see it. He even called me now asking questions. Like, what do you think about this? And what do you think about it? I said, man, I'm telling you, it's not the teaching like in none of our classes. I've been in minister classes in 2 different churches. I've learned more in the 3 academies that I've been in, more in that first month of that first academy, outdid all of those classes that I've been in.
Praise the Most High.
There's no comparison. There's absolutely no comparison. And anybody who's thinking about getting into this academy, you need to stop thinking about it and just do it. Just do it.
Brother, let me have your name.
I'm paying for 2 other people to join this.
You're paying for 2 other people. Yeah. If you want to pay for other people to come, whatever the case is, just send an email. I want to tell everyone, just send an email to goccacademy@gmail.com. And the administrators, those who deal with them on that side, will let you know how you can actually sponsor other people. Just put that in the email, goccacademy@gmail.com. But go on. Let me have your name,
okay,
brother.
I'm paying for Jerome to go to the class again.
Let me have your name.
Jonathan Smith.
Jonathan. Okay, you know
Jonathan Smith.
You know your
Yes.
name. Your name in the Hebrew is Yawanathan.
Yes, I do. I actually looked it up. After I could. Yeah, Jonathan. Yep.
Yeah, Yawanathan. But anyway, what I'm gonna do, Yawanathan, we're gonna give you a call, and we're gonna see what we can get something working over in Milwaukee. Okay.
That'll work.
Put those chairs to
I'm
use.
still waiting to be baptized. I took the class and everything. They told me if I had the sniffles or anything like that, don't, and I didn't want to make nobody feel uncomfortable, so I didn't take it yet. And they haven't rescheduled it yet. So, but I'm waiting to be baptized.
Well, listen. If you should have called me. Because listen, if you got to be baptized, we can't wait till you're Colt 45 free to receive that Holy Spirit. So reschedule that and let them know Elder Ricard y'all said, let's get this thing working. All right?
All right, I definitely will.
So you're good now, right? You're good now, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm straight.
Well, call and let's get it done. Let's get you up under that water, brother. Let's do it.
I was fine then. I just didn't want nobody to feel uncomfortable.
Listen. That's your obligation with the Most High. If you was fine then, you should have just gotten that water. Okay, faith over fear. That's what it's about now.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right, my brother.
Right.
Bless you.
All right. So you want me to give you a call tomorrow?
Just send an email and we're gonna get someone to reach out to you. I have your number here actually, Yawanathan. So I'll call you up and we'll get something working, man, because it's time. Time is running out. So, all right.
All right,
I'll get with you.
That'll
right,
work.
Bless you.
And tell Elder Lawyer, I love y'all guys. I really do.
He's here.
And y'all take care. Y'all be blessed.
Thank you. Bless you.
All right.
That's it. Ain't that something? He said he'd been in the 3 separate ministries, Elder Lawyer. Seminary school and all that. And he learned more in 1 month in our academy than all the days in the Christian church. And you know what?
Yes, sir.
I thank the Most High for that because that was our intention. People don't realize when you learn the Bible outside of their program, deceptive theologian teachings, you realize you have more in common to understand this book than you would ever realize when it's taught from the proper perspective. With you owning this book as the people, it opens up a whole new light. So, hey, it seems like what we set out to do with the academy.
Hey, shalom, Elder. Or Elder, sorry about that.
I got the wrong thing.
I'm all right, man. I was calling in with a question. I was wondering, can you guys put closed captioning on the Hebrew Bible Academy? I get a more thorough understanding that way. When I put it on mute and just read it.
Okay, well, I'll work on that. I'm going to see if there's a component for that doesn't get in the way of what everyone else is dealing with. Oh, you mean to be able to, when you see it back, closed caption can come up as with the playback, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to see if that's possible. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Huh? Am I muted? No, I'm not muted. I'm good. I was earlier. I had it on the wrong thing. They can hear me now. Go ahead. Say it again.
Yeah.
All right. So.
I was just saying, appreciate that, Elder.
Okay. No problem. All right. Yeah, I was muted earlier.
Shalom.
I hit the wrong thing. Shalom. I'm going to see if I can work on the closed caption piece so that when you review it back, you use closed caption. We really have to work on different languages also. So that's being worked on. 985 area code. And guess what? This Hebrew Bible Academy, man, it turned into, it went well beyond what we thought it would be. It's what the idea of edifying our people, But it have taken on a whole new spirit that only the Most High could have seen in that. I mean, it doesn't matter how old you are. I'm talking about there's children in like looking at it with their parents learning Hebrew. Some of the testimonies are overwhelming. Things that we didn't even calculate. You know. So all praises be to the Most High. 985. And again, some people say, well, hold up now. If you're a Hebrew Israelite, that means you got to know Hebrew. No, it doesn't. Hebrew was the original language. Doesn't mean you have to know the language. The Bible says that he's going to give us a pure language back. And it's beginning with us learning the Phoenician. Outside of the quote unquote bastard tongue, when they started linking in Latin and other languages in our modern day so-called Hebrew. Okay. Number 2, what Hebrew tells is that you're from the seed of Eber. Heber is just another word for a man named Eber, who spoke Hebrew when the whole earth was speaking Hebrew before the Tower of Babel. So it doesn't denote the language in of itself. It denotes the people who carried the language, who was from the seed of Eber. So don't let no one try to shame you or try to come, oh, you Hebrew Israelite, why do you speak Hebrew? No, that's a ridiculous notion. You can tell them, the Bible says, with a new speech and a new tongue would he speak to his people. We lost our heritage. It doesn't mean we aren't Hebrews. I'm from the seed of Eber, who is the grandfather, when you look up into the lineage, it's the great grandfather of Abraham. Okay. I'm from Eber, all the way down through Peleg, the Tower of Babel, Terah, all the way down to Abraham. So what makes you a Hebrew is not the language. What makes you a Hebrew is that you're from the bloodline of Eber. Let me straighten that out too. So don't let no one try to shame you because you don't have your language all together yet. All right, man, we treating this like an academy tonight. What's going on here? Let's see. 734 area code.
Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you doing, Elder?
Blessed by the best, and his name is AHAYAH. The floor is yours.
I was just calling in to say thank you guys for the lesson. Tonight was very edifying, and I just appreciate you guys always making sure that you stay connected with the people and give us updates about what's going on. Because I know with a lot of things, it's really easy to get caught up in like all the news stories and everything that's going on. And it's just nice to get something that like grounds you every week. So thank you guys.
To keep a balance against the evil imposition, this campaign being inundated everywhere you turn with this information being pressured. So I hope in these discussions is that this is bringing a serious grounded balance against the campaigns. So because I'm gonna tell you, if it wasn't for this truth, if you didn't have this truth to be able to make the decisions, what do you think that decision would be right now?
It's hard to tell. I'm really young too, so I know a lot of people in my demographic are just listening to whatever the news says. They're getting the vaccines. They're listening to whatever scientists say, and they're just kind of going with it.
Go on.
Yeah. So I honestly probably couldn't even tell you.
Okay. Well, hey, I'm glad you're making the right decision. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay. Hey, welcome to the family. And I'm glad you're making the right decisions. You're right on time. All right. So let me place you on hold. Thank you, sister. All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Let's go on. 618 area code. Hey, the young folk waking up. That's right. 618 area code. Shalom. You're live with the Gathering of Christ Church. Talk to us.
Yeah, this is Brother Pala from the St. Louis body. just calling to just go back off what you were saying. I think that was the last blog talk when you were saying they putting all their chips on the table. And the reason I say that is because they have no other way to deem us as a threat, to get all the other nations to deem us as a threat. Because we don't have a standing army, and neither can we contend with them economically. So they've been, just going back through time and looking at it. They've been correlating poverty with sicknesses to poverty, and trying to turn that as a campaign. So all those campaigns they were doing in Africa and all the other third world countries is actually campaigns to get the world to correlate poverty with sickness. So now deem us as a threat in the end game. And that's all I wanted to say. Just a quick comment. Peace and blessings to you, brothers. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you, brother. Shalom. Great points. 813 area code. Bless you, brother. Good point.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right. I just want you guys to know that I have been listening to you probably for about 7-8 years now. And I just want you to know that I love you guys' teaching. I look forward to your videos and your lessons. The longer, the better. And I want to say that I really do believe that you guys are blessed, and you're a blessing to everyone that you're teaching to. And just really want to thank you for all that you do. I know that you guys are coming to Florida. I hope I didn't miss you. And if you are coming to Florida, I wanted to know if you could share when and where you'll be.
I'm going to call Nathanael tomorrow, and we're going to set a time, but it will be soon. And let's see. Let me have your name.
It's Liz. It's Liz.
Liz. Okay, you've been following us almost 7-8 years. And you ever thought about linking in with the body there? Liz?
Of course I have. I've just not been able to commit, but I am in a place now where I can commit. So I'm definitely looking to do that, and also get baptized. I was baptized as a child, and I want to definitely do it again with you guys.
Well, sister, I tell you, it's right on time. I mean, right now, especially with what we're going to do with the Orlando body and all that's there, there's a lot of things that then surface to the point where now that body is ready to it's ready to grow, and prepare brothers and sisters. Okay. A lot of Levites over there. It is really ready to get propped up there. So get ready. I hope you've been waiting for a long time.
Orlando.
Huh?
I have been, yes.
Okay, you live in Orlando?
I said I think I can make it to. No, I'm in Tampa. Probably about 45 minutes.
Okay, great. Okay, so hey, we're about to bring that whole thing together. We have a central place there. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. It's going to be great. So you're coming right on time.
Looking forward to it.
All right. So Florida, I'm going to make sure the Thunders give y'all a call. Okay. Sister Liz?
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. Welcome to the body. Shalom.
All
right. Only a few more calls, and then we'll wish you all Godspeed. Hit 1 if you have a question or comment. Waiting in the queue. Hit 1 if you have a question or comment. All right. Let's see. All right. I can take a few more. Let's see. 910 area code.
And this man, the director of CNN, actually says
910.
Hi, Elder Ricard.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Glenn Hundley. I just want to say that what do you think about on the commercials where they're advertising those Jewish people saying that they're in poverty and they need help? What do you think that by showing the public that, showing that they're the false Jews, what do you think that means for us?
Well, I don't believe that means anything for us. I mean, it still goes back to the time. It's these same foundations. Usually they're led by Rockefeller foundations and other foundations like the Gates foundations. And what they do is that they'll put a puppy in front of you. They'll put a black kid and they'll throw some dirt and put some rice next to them. There was a campaign that they showed even in Haiti where it was this big fat white guy running around just paying people to dress up their children so that they can make commercials to send money to them. So really it means nothing outside of them looking to, pull on the heartstrings of people to send money that go into foundations that leads to more eugenics and killing us. And I don't pay money to none of that crap. When I go to a store and they try to show all these children who are clearly photoshopped without any hair, and I look at that and they be like, "You want to give money for the cancer kids?" And I'm like, "No." For the Lutheran Church or for the St. Luke Children's, no, because it all goes towards eugenics. So I don't know. It's all the same people collecting money so that they can jam your children up and
there's also and for our people that feel sorry for those people there, we're knowing we're the true Jew. I mean, some of our people don't know they're the true Jews, and they're sending them money over there anyway, not knowing that they're the true Jews.
Brother, I don't think they're thinking about us at all when they're putting up those commercials. They're peddling. They're peddling. They're what you call media panhandling. Like I said, they go find a kid, throw some dirt, and put a bowl of rice, and say, for 30 cents a day, you can take care of old George. And they tell you his father died in a refugee bomb and all that, and it's a kid they got from next door. What I say is ignore all of it, because they're not doing this because of the Jews and all that. They're doing it because it's a way to make a quick buck, a non-profit buck. That's all it is. All right.
I want to acknowledge that I've been following you for years, and I've gotten a lot. I actually cut my teeth off and looking at your programs and came into a knowledge. But also, I want to add: do you believe that there are people actually on this earth that can actually see in the spirit realm?
Well, of course.
Hello?
Of course there's people who can see in the spiritual realm. But what do you mean by that? You mean people that wake up every day and they're living in the spiritual realm?
Yeah.
Bro, let me make it
I'm
clear.
one of those people.
Okay, that's cool. Let me tell you this, brother. There's everybody on the earth go into the spiritual realm every day when they sleep.
I mean, like, for me, Elder Ricard, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you ain't cut me off.
But I mean, for me, it's actually, I can actually see, like, in the spirit realm, like in the sky. And I can actually see, and I don't want you to think that I'm off my rocker or anything, but I can actually see people in the sky.
Okay. And the whole thing is this.
What do you make of that?
Well, this is what I make of it. The greatest gift is to what?
Is to be able to see.
No. The greatest gift is to edify. Why? Because we all have different gifts. With me being able to break down the scriptures, I'm able to actually bring forth what's unseen to light. So that's me actually connecting with the invisible. But I use this gift to do what? To edify the Most High's people. So you need to let me know, how do your gift in particular works in conjunction with edifying and helping God's people? If so, that gift is for you.
Well, what I see, I can't tell you, but what I see up there is weird. I mean, I see all kind of, it's like giant figures, black people, alien people. And they're not, they actually are the clouds.
Okay. All right. You have a Bible in front of you.
Yes, let me grab it right quick.
Okay, great.
Are you still there?
Yeah. I need you to get Corinthians.
Oh, okay.
Elder Lawyer, grab that for me too in Corinthians about the gifts.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay. Okay, I'm ready.
I need you to go to First Corinthians 13. Let me know when you're there.
1 Corinthians 13.
Yep, that's where we are.
Okay, trying to get there. Bear with me. First Corinthians 13.
Elder Lawyer, read that for me. The greatest gift is to edify.
Okay.
Hit that real quick. Hold up. Hold tight, brother.
Hold on.
Let me know when you're there, brother.
Yes, sir.
I'm at
Chapter
14. 13.
Okay, hold on. Elder Lawyer, 14 and what?
You can start at verse 1.
Okay. Hey, brother, go. I got 13, but I need you to go to 14 because we're going back to 13. You there? All right.
I'm in 1 Corinthians chapter 14.
Okay, so we're gonna put you on track here, right? Start at the first verse.
Okay. Follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but not rather than ye may prophesy.
So what is the greatest gift? That you may what?
Prophesy.
Okay, now you have a gift. You look in the sky. You see black people. Finish reading.
For he that speaketh in an unknown tongue speaketh not unto men, but unto God. For no man understandeth him, howbeit in the spirit he speaketh mysteries.
So this is talking about in particular.
You want me to continue?
Yeah, I need you to listen. You have people who have gifts who feel that the gift of tongues is something that they should be able to utilize amongst other people. And Paul said, go home with that. Because the church isn't edified when God is talking to you, unless you're going to tell us what God is saying. So the same way, when everyone have their different gifts, you can look up into the sky and see things. Right? Finish reading.
Correct.
Finish reading.
But he that prophesieth speaketh unto them to edification and exhortation and comfort. He that speaketh in an unknown tongue edifieth himself, but he that prophesied edifieth the church.
Exactly. So you have now you have to listen, because I know there's a little feedback. So give me space to speak in between. So you may have a gift that edifies for you. But if it's not edifying for the church and isn't fruitful for other people to benefit from what we're seeing, then it's for you. Right? Finish reading.
Right. I would that ye all speak with tongues, but rather than ye prophesy. For greater is he that prophesieth than he that speaketh with tongues, except in interpret, that the church may receive edifying.
Now there's more. I need you to read the 6th verse because it's going to go off the tongues into more. Read.
Speaking in tongues.
No.
Now, brother, if I come unto you speak.
What verse are you at there?
Excuse me? I'm at verse 6.
Come on.
Now, brethren, if I come unto you speaking with tongues, what shall I profit you? Except I should speak to you either by revelation or by knowledge or by prophesying or by doctrine.
Okay, come on.
And even things without life giving sound, whether pipe or harp, except they give a distinction in the sounds. How shall it be known what is pipe or harp?
Come on.
For if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle.
Come on.
Want me to go on?
Keep on.
So likewise, ye accept ye utter by the tongue words easy to be understood. How shall it be known what is spoken?
Let's get straight to it.
Speak into the air.
Here's the point I need you to focus on. Read the 12th verse.
Okay.
Read
Even it. So ye for as so much as ye are zealous of spiritual gifts, seek that ye may excel to the edifying of the church.
Hold up. It says, even so ye, for as much ye are zealous of spiritual gifts, which we all have. And I'm not saying you don't have that gift, right? But if we have that gift, it says, seek that ye may excel to the edifying of the church. Because you have to understand or so realize. Now listen to what I'm saying. You have to quantify how you having that gift edifies the church or the gospel or the ministry of Christ. Not to say that what you're doing.
Well, can I?
I'm saying, but if you're ready to answer me before I'm finished speaking, then
I think we're getting double feedback. That's why.
Okay, yeah. This is what I'm saying, though.
But I hear you.
Listen, like for instance, I'm a man that edifies, right? Some of the things that I am gifted in certain areas, I understand when that's for me and not for everyone else. When I'm here for the people, I'm here to edify because they're here to get understanding. So whatever gifts I have, that's between me and the Most High, that would probably be a stumbling block to others, I keep to myself. Now, it'll come a time where that gift will come in handy. Suppose something happens where there's something that I have, a gift that isn't edifying, but it's a gift the Most High have given me. And we're out together and I'm being directed and I see something based on that gift the Most High have given me that's directing us in the right way from harm to safety. That's when that gift comes into play. But when we're here for the teachings, we're only here to edify the word of the Most High and what he has to say in directing us as a people. Coming into one fold, one Lord, one faith, one baptism. That's what this forum is for. It's not for individual gifts. Because we all have gifts.
Right, I understand.
Okay, all right. I'm not downplaying your gift. But what I'm saying is the greatest gift is that you can consolidate that into edifying and use that for when it's time.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
My brother.
Now, I got one more thing I want to say.
Well, the one more thing can't happen because, brother, the one more thing have to wait for another time because other people in line. And I have to do respect to the program, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes,
My
sir.
brother. Hold it, write it down, and I'll answer it later. My brother. All right, let's get one more call, and that will actually conclude our broadcast this evening. 252 area code.
Elder?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, AHAYAH. I just wanted to come on the broadcast. I'm another person that's been listening for years. The first thing is I've been trying for years off and on to find a gathering close to me, but every time I do the questionnaire and watch the video, I never get that return email. I recently just ordered a calendar, so I did another email around the same time I ordered my calendar. So that's another reason why I'm glad that I actually got through, because it's an emergency that I get in the gathering with our people, because I need to be covered. And the enemy has been attacking me for a while, but it's very intense right now because I actually started doing what the Lord has been asking me to do, educational-wise and spiritual-wise. So that's another segment. My main thing is I'm calling for an emergency prayer and letting the ladies know to be careful about going to the doctors. I recently went to a doctor, and I looked for a black doctor to support because they're not supported as much. I'm a healthy individual. I'm 45. I don't have any major issues. My main issue was my intimate parts to where fibroids was incurred, and I knew about that for years. I've been taking vitamins, doing herbs.
Well, sister, you have to round. I'm with you, sister, but I'm trying to really.
Okay.
I'm trying to really triangulate on the purpose of the call. I need you to really, because right now you're probably nervous, and you're going through all your thoughts and getting them out, but it's not coming into a cohesive dialogue.
Okay.
So what is it?
I went to
sisters. Be careful. Sisters, be careful from the doctors because of what?
Because they told me that I had HPV.
Oh,
I know I didn't have that. So they suggested for me to do a coloscopy. My first doctor gave me a pap smear. She used the instrument. It was too large.
Okay, all right. Check this out, sister. This is what we're going to do, though, because this is going into some intrusive private scenarios. But what we do know is, yes, they are targeting the woman's, fertility organ. We understand that. So this is what we have to do, though.
Yes.
What has to happen more so than anything, and I'm glad you bring this out, men have to be a key component when it comes to these decisions that are happening, because what's happening is the healthcare apparatus is circumventing men to destroy the womb of our women. And they're getting our sisters at an early age with this your body stuff and body empowerment. But it's really so that you can privately get yourself jacked to not be able to have children and all that under the eugenics program. So, all that HPV, all that crap is crap. It's to get you, first of all, to make you believe something is wrong with you so that they can actually get to you to do something to you in certain circumstances. I've seen that. So, but again, there have been instances where people went to the hospital and doctors, sister, and there were real issues based on past medical scenarios that led to sisters having cysts and all those things that needed medical attention. So we have to be to a point where we're not so con or so skeptical when it comes to the healthcare system that when there is something offered that can help, that we leave ourselves out there without any level of medical attention. So there's a balance there. That's where men gotta come in at, and you have to ask the right questions and have second opinions and have people say, "Well, listen." And I'm gonna tell you, what goes on is I'm gonna tell you in this, what happens, sister. Too many times we listen to TV, we do all these things, and we try to get in front of things, and our sisters. I mean, I had to straighten my mother out with that because she wanted to be up in the doctor's office every other minute. Every time you look, she got a doctor's appointment. So because it's the fear that's being inundated through the airwaves. So it has to be balanced to a degree, especially a woman who's nervous concerning her health. Eventually, you're gonna get in there, and something is, So a man have to be there who understand what's going on, and sisters can't be triggered through every little thing they hear on the news or through or through the commercials that will have them say, well, they say, check with your doctor, check with your doctor. And now you're making a doctor's appointment when nothing is wrong with you. Okay. So.
Exactly. Because
yeah.
Nothing is wrong with me.
All right.
And but the main thing is the
well,
second
sister,
doctor caused so much pain.
Well, I have to get to the next call, sister. I'm sorry. I have to get to the next call. All right. I got one more call. Okay. All right.
Well, can you take my number so someone?
Okay. What is your name, sister? Hello?
Angela.
Hold on. Where you from?
Angela. Greenville, North Carolina.
Okay, I'm gonna have the elder call you from North Carolina. I'm gonna call you, Angela. Okay, North Carolina. My mom from there.
Sir.
Okay, so we're gonna have someone call you. All right. Bless you.
Thank you.
All right, no problem.
Thank you.
I can understand sometimes we're under time constraints. People are nervous. Didn't think they was gonna get in, so I understand sometimes it takes 15 minutes to get over the jitters. But I just don't have that long. Sorry. All right. 985 area code. And it's going to be the last call. Sorry. We'll pick up calls next week. You're live. I tried you. 757 area code. Were you here earlier? No, that's another 757. 757 area code.
Hello?
Yeah, you're live with the Gathering of Christ Church. Last call.
I'm sorry, sir. I just want to say this is Sister Claudette from Newport News, Virginia.
All right.
And it feels so great to be a part of the show tonight. I haven't been here in a while. I've been working a lot. And I just want to say that I've been learning the truth now since 2009. And the truth that I've learned has answered so many questions of my wives. And I'm just so grateful and thankful that God led me to GOCC, and I will continue to follow and just continue to search for the word and study and just continue to watch the shows. I can't travel too much to the local body near me because I do a lot of work that has me around a lot of people, so I don't want to go around the church so much. But I'm just honored to be a part of the body of Gathering of Christ Church, and God himself led me to this church. I know I might sound weird saying this, but I had dreams of this church years before I found this church. And the night I found the church on YouTube, I fell to my knees in prayer because I was so amazed at this vision of you God sent to me as plain as day. And when I saw your face on YouTube, it was a clear note that God is with me. No matter how hard and how difficult life has been, God has always been with me. And ever since I came into the truth of the Gathering of Christ Church teaching of the great God, AHAYAH, life has just gotten even better for me. And I just want to say thank you.
Well, thank you, sister, and bless you. And make sure you're in that Hebrew and Bible Academy. You don't want to miss it, all right? HistoryTimes.org.
I did apply for it, but I couldn't understand it, and I tried to get help. But maybe one day someone can call me and tell me what I need to do, because I do have a laptop computer now.
Yeah.
If you could take my number down and call me at your earliest convenience.
Okay, hold on. Let me take your number down here. Let me have your name again.
My name is Sister Claudette Askew.
From where?
Newport News, Virginia.
Oh, my father was born there. Claudette, VA.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to make sure someone call you for the academy to help you out with that, okay?
Thank you.
Claudette.
Bless the church. Amen.
All right. All right. And, yeah, I'm seeing, I was looking for Sunshine to see where she going to, Elder. I don't see Sunshine right now, and I guess, you know what I mean? Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Anytime she goes away. All right. There's no sunshine. Let's get one more call. 229 area code. Shalom.
Shalom. Hello.
Hey, something is going on because you made it right on in. Talk to me.
Oh man, this brother Judah Cypher from the Atlanta Valley. I'm surprised I got in, but it's been a while since I've been on, but I've been listening to every lesson, and I've been in the last academy. I'm getting in this one. Just wanted to let you all know that I want you all to come down to Georgia, for the 2x2. You say you was going to send everybody out as far as tools.
Yeah, we're going to set up
houses.
We're going to set up 2x2s where people are knocking on doors. Of course, you got to wear the mask because the majority of people are scared around here. But yeah, we're going to be 2x2s knocking on doors. You know what I mean? We're going to be going hard in the paint. That means sometimes we got to get them Jehovah's Witnesses out of the way, left, right.
Exactly, yeah.
Get the rebound. So we're going 2x2s. Let's go. That's coming too.
Yeah, I just wanted you all to baptize my wife and my son, whenever y'all come. So that's why I'm calling.
Okay, well, hey, we're gonna work it out then. When we get there soon, we're gonna put you in the water and let's do it. Right?
All right. Well, I've been baptized, but I can get baptized again. So
You've been baptized with the Gathered of Christ Church?
Yeah, with the old church.
Okay, well, you're good then. I thought you said you needed to be baptized. You good then? You're straight.
No, I'm talking about my wife and my son.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get a. Oh, okay. So why didn't she get baptized? Or maybe you got in first and she wanted to wait and see first, or why did she get baptized with you?
Well, because she never come to the classes. It was just me and my son. My wife, she was dealing with a lot of stuff at the time, years ago with the diabetes and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
But Elder Lawyer, he knows a lot about it.
Okay. Well, it's better late than never, brother. Better late than never.
Lawyer.
All right. So that concludes our broadcast, brother. I'm going to see you in Atlanta soon. I am hungry. I need to eat something. So I'm sorry I wasn't able to get to everyone. Elder Lawyer, I appreciate you assisting us, Elder Yurok, and all the elders. That concludes our broadcast, picking it up from last Sabbath. That concludes our broadcast, unfortunately. Yeah, Sunshine was there the last time, but I wanted to it was so many people, I wanted to get some people in, but I'll see her soon. Sunshine, if you're out there, come in the next time so we know you're safe because everyone miss you. All right. Again, that concludes our broadcast. Satan's strategy against Israelites. Remember this: faith before fear. Satan is the author of confusion. Confusion started at the Tower of Babel, and that usually happens for those who believe in Satan and will not stand on this word. If you're with God, you'll stand with God. If you're with Christ, you'll take his advice. Okay? Do not take the mark of the beast. Okay? Stand in faith, you'll live. Stand with Satan, you die. With that, may the Most High stay with you. Stay prayed up, sin not. Thank you, Elder Lawyer. Bless you. Bless all the elders, deacons, and all the members all over the church. And someone asked a question about deaconesses because it's mentioned deaconesses in the Bible. Usually that title of a deaconess, it goes without the title. That's only highlighting the wife of a deacon. Okay? That's a position already in the church, and this woman so happened to be a wife of a deacon. That's all it is. You have deacons who don't have wives. They're just deacons. You have a deacon with a wife. And usually when a man is in position doing the Lord's work, there's a woman working to assist, to help. That's a deaconess. That's all that is. It wasn't no position over men in the church. It was only highlighting, I want to put that out there, the wife of a deacon. Now, with that, I'm going to say shalom, stay prayed up, sin not. We will soon see Zion. And yes, I'm going to end it with a song. Save Me. It will be released with the new project soon. Music with a Purpose Part 2 coming. Let's go.
Hey. Oh. Hey. I was on my way, felt the presence of your son every day. Every day. I let go of your hand.
I let go of your hand.
And now I feel a change.
I close the door.
Close the door, fall to my knees and I begin to pray. Oh, help me. The cares of the world.
The cares of the world is slowly pulling
me away.
What?
Now I hear a voice calling me to the light. Still in the heart, so I'll discern wrong from right. I met a fork in the road. Which way should I go? My Father sent His Spirit, help me find, save me. Bible fell on the floor and open to the Lord. And I can't believe what I saw. I saw me singing willfully. I won't break your law no more. Sing your songs, open my door. Back to me. Oh, Father, please forgive me. Save me. To the light. Still in my heart, so I would know wrong from right. And I'm walking in the road. Which way should I go? My Father sent His Spirit, help me find, save me.
Shine down on me. I'm one of your sons of Jacob.
Lord, I believe. Oh, guide me to the light. Sing your song so I will know.
Wrong from right.
I'm at a fork in the road. Which way do I go? My Father, send your Spirit, help me find. Save the voice calling me to the light. From the in the heart, so I know wrong from right. Let us find the road. Yes, where should I go? My heart is in your Son, make me right. Help me find, save me. Come save me.
Shalom.